7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
He has a lot of problems.
Struggle to be top 5 in points at the end of the season.
Wow.
You bleach your hair, you're a sellout.
Yo, what is up, everyone? Welcome back to the Moto Aftermath Show. This is episode number 256, and we are in studio here to wrap up round 2 of the 2024 Supercross season from San Francisco. Already a mutter. If you saw my reaction video from the race on Saturday night, you know that I think mutters are lame. We'll get into that today. We're going to break down all the action, talk about some things we heard throughout the day here, because obviously it's now Sunday evening, so we've had about 24 hours to process and rewatch and listen to interviews and everything else in between. In studio with me, as per usual, on a Supercross only deal, it is Cole with another melon hat. Is that what it is? Melon hat.
Another one. This is a sweet one.
Another one. That's neato.
Yeah, Ethica released 3 of them. I don't have the first one in the series. So I want it.
Have you figured out where to get those just hats as blanks?
I would go on Import Yeti and look up melon and see if you can find those supplier.
What do you say?
I kind of messed with it one day, but I didn't go too deep with it.
I would get one or get some and just get TLR Coatings put on it. It'd be awesome.
Yeah,
so.
These things are like, you definitely get what you pay for. This is a really nice hat. And
yeah.
You could go out there and bury your head in the pond out there, and it would come out looking sweet still.
Sick. So all right. So before we get started here, just want to thank our sponsors. So first up, as always, we are in the TLR Coatings studios. TLR Coatings, Michigan's #1 custom powder coating shop, doing all your custom powder coat and Cerakote needs there. Make sure to check them out at tlrcoatings.com or on all the major socials at TLR Coatings. And they're coming back to YouTube here soon because I didn't have enough to do. So I decided, you know what, we should fire up that YouTube channel also, because why not have 67 social medias to handle? That would be great. Also on board with us, Complete Racing Solutions. And Complete Racing Solutions has these new express workouts. They are 30 minutes or less daily, or however many days per week you can do. They're 30 minutes or less. Coach Rob can help you out with those. Make sure to check them out, CompleteRacingSolutions.com, I believe, and I don't have this written in my notes, so Coach, you can go ahead and find me for this. I believe it is like $22 a month if you pay monthly, and $15 per month if you pay annually, aka all at once. So make sure to check them out. Again, links in the description down below. Also on board with us here, we have Holster Co. with a Reload Rant, which I do believe I have a rant here. Yes, one. I do.
I've got one.
Okay, great. So we got Holster Co. Reload Rants. We have Isaac Nelson Designs Digging Danger Zone update here for this week, which is going to be awesome. And
maybe I should save my rant for that then.
Okay, all right. And we also have Gutter Works on board with us, who got me this fresh hoodie the other day. I got a hat too, but of course I didn't bring that out with me. So Kayla got a new vehicle, and we did her wheels.
I saw the wheels. I saw
I know.
She was stoked.
Dude, I do nothing but great work, all right.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
Apparently the people in Discount Tire in Battle Creek, you do not do great work.
We're not going to go there. We're not going to go there. So, all right. So, wrapping up round 2 here, San Francisco. It was a mutter. If you watched the reaction video, you kind of saw my rants in there about mutters. They're pointless. They're a waste of time. I don't understand. I also don't understand, and I said this in the qualifying show. I said this in the reaction show, and now I'm going to say it in the main show. If we go back to NorCal next year in the first 3 rounds, and we have rain issues again, because last year, remember, Oakland got canceled. Like, there was mass flooding, so we couldn't do Oakland when we wanted to there at the beginning. Now we have this San Francisco round, which is just a fucking nightmare. If we go next year and there's rain issues, like, can we just stop? Or are we just going to continue to beat our head against the wall? Because, like, this isn't fun. And anybody who thinks it's fun, like, you need to get your head checked. Like, this isn't racing. They're just trying to stand up. We have the race on, by the way.
Well, I'm going to differ with you a little bit. Because I think if a guy can get through a mud round and do the follow the leader or whatever, do the survival, well-rounded rider. You know, you want to gargle Jet off. If you want to call him a well-rounded rider, he's missing it in the mud right now.
Look,
so I think this is a...
You obviously didn't watch the reaction video. I was very clear. We have found Jet's weakness. It is muddy Supercross. He's not good at muddy Supercross.
And now you're talking about taking muddy Supercrosses away so your boy can be better.
No.
That is
not what I'm talking about at all. I'm talking about watching this right now. It's just boring to me. Like, there's nothing fun about this at all to me. As I said, they're okay when we get later in the year and we're back east and we don't have enclosed stadiums and stuff. Then they're okay. It breaks up the monotony once you get into round like 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Then that breaks it up. But round 2, like, okay, now we go through round 1, which is A1, which is always a weird race, so we don't really have much data to go off of there. Now we've got round 2's a mutter. We have 0 data to go off. Like, literally, we could come out next week and Chase and Eli could get like freaking, I don't know, 8th and 9th, and we just have to be like, okay, well, we don't really know.
That's exactly why I think it's awesome.
But okay, here's
like Tomac's back in the mix now.
Yes, so that
Roxon's back in the mix.
That made it cool. That makes it cool that now we've got, you know, some differences in points here, and things got mixed up. It's not just Jet running away with it, so that's cool. But here's the thing. We don't run into this problem because obviously we live in the Northeast here, essentially, and so we go to stadiums that are covered. We go to Detroit. We go to Indy. We go to St. Louis. All covered stadiums. We don't have this problem. It can be a fucking blizzard. Doesn't matter. If I paid all that money to fly out to California and I had to watch this, I'd be fucking pissed.
Core fan.
Fucking, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'd be there.
I mean, we did this at Des Nations.
But I would be, yeah, okay, but this is something else that someone brought up in the comments. That's what makes outdoors great, is you're dealing with the elements. Mm-hmm. I'm not here to do that in Supercross. Supercross, I'm here to watch. It's kind of like...
you feel Supercross should be dry all the time. Like, that should be Supercross. Mud is not allowed in
Supercross is like the premier motorcycle racing for dirt bikes. Like... I'm here to watch them race. If I want to go watch a P-Dub class race, I'll just go to the local track and watch it. It's no problem. Cost me next to nothing to do that. So I know we're going to get slayed in the comments, and make sure to comment down below with your guys' thoughts on if you like mud races, if you don't like mud races, because this is an open discussion for this. Like I said, my big issue right now is that it's round 2.
Yeah.
Like I said, we get later in the season. It's fun to break up the monotony and see this, but... The first 5 rounds, I'm just trying to get a grasp on, okay, what's actually happening?
Well, at least it's not last year where the second round got canceled. So we get a sweet A1, and then we're really, hell yeah, round 2, and then it just gets canceled.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, 100%.
So I guess be a little more happy that we got this, but I don't know, man. I guess I'm with you. It'd be better to have maybe later in the year, but I'm also on the stance of, you know, again, the elements coming into play and seeing who can minimize the damage the most on what's thrown at them.
Yeah.
And I think that makes a more well-rounded champion. You know what I mean? Like, you got, you know, say Tomac does go on to win the championship or something, he can claim his mud riding skills as how he got back in the fight.
Yeah.
Or you could go vice versa for Jet.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he had one bad round in the mud because... You know, he didn't go out there and survive the best he could. He got a little antsy, dumped it. You know, I don't know. That's where I'm at with it. Me personally, I'm kind of down with mud riding just because my, you know, my racing days, that's what got me my result at Loretta's being in the mud. So,
yeah.
Everybody's like, oh, it's a mud race. She didn't do that good, but I still fucking claim it. I'll claim it.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing, too. It was weird because it was raining. I mean, we could see it on the TV. It was raining all night. Super hard.
Oh, yeah.
And
they definitely didn't wipe the cameras off.
Yeah. And that too. And
JT put a hat on.
That he had to protect the
You know
hair.
It's bad when he had to
when
put a hat on.
JT's got a hat on and an umbrella, it's bad.
Yeah.
But it never got... like it never got better. Like usually like you have that thick heavy stuff like we saw in practice there, but then as it keeps raining it basically just turns into you're just hydroplaning
mush,
everywhere, and it never got that way. And a lot of the guys talked about that in interviews I saw. They were like, man, it was the weirdest dirt. Like even Prado, they asked him, they were like, dude, like are you used to mud or like what? And he said he's like, I've never seen anything like this. This is a one-off thing. I've never seen dirt act like this. Oh, and here we're watching this too, which brings up my next point. Them having to wash the fucking bikes before they go back to the pits.
They had to walk them this whole way?
No, you could wash.
Wash 'em.
Yeah, didn't you see that where they had to
Yeah,
come
yeah.
off the track and wash it? Because heaven
Dude,
forbid.
Hats off to the mechanics, dude.
Well, yes, and those boys worked hard. But heaven forbid we get mud on the sidewalks. But hey, if you want to shit on the sidewalk, throw your dirty fucking AIDS needle on the sidewalk or anything like that, no problem. But do not get that fucking dirt bike mud on that San Francisco sidewalk.
I'm going to be devil's advocate here,
Oh
though.
boy, here we go.
You got a muddy dirt bike is going to cause so much more havoc when you've got 50, 60 of them going back and forth. There's mud fucking everywhere.
Yep.
Think of Destinations when people were pulling out of that place. Do you remember what the road looked like?
Yep.
Took a while to get that washed up. Whereas if somebody takes a fat shit on the sidewalk, you can go scoop it up and fucking be done with it. Scooping up shit is a little easier.
They don't scoop it up.
Okay, well, what do? Just leave it there?
Yeah.
Well, that is a little small girth. That's small girth.
There's like 80,000 people,
people,
80,000 homeless people in San Francisco shitting on the sidewalks. So you tell me how clean those sidewalks
but
are.
it's not going to look like manure track.
Haven't you seen the debacle of like the only reason they cleaned up San Francisco was because the Chinese, whatever the fuck he is, came over?
I don't know.
That was a huge debacle.
That's a different avenue for me.
Look, we can get into politics here, okay?
I know.
But anyway,
so I'm kind of devil's advocate, just like I got a Vince Freeze jersey in my closet.
look,
so.
the only reason I can see it is because where they were pitted, I don't know where you would wash the bikes there. Yeah. But again, I wasn't there, so I don't know the landscape, and like I haven't really even talked to Kev or anything.
Mm-hmm.
So
should just ghost rode it into the bay, Pastrana style.
Dude, I don't know, man. The whole thing to me was just crazy. And then, like, how far you got to go to the pits there, like, holy crap, would that have sucked.
I will say the pier was probably a cool vibe for the pits, though.
Probably super cool, yeah.
Being up against the water like that in the boathouse or whatever, probably a cool vibe for sure. But, as far as being a mechanic, God, that would have sucked.
Yes.
And especially a privateer, which I've got a little story I want to share here before we get into right before we get into the 250 breakdown. But before that, you know what we got to open up with?
Opening ceremonies.
It's back. You guys loved it. Well, I don't know about loved it, but a lot of you liked it. So
we're gonna keep it rolling.
Yeah,
keep it rolling.
Maybe we'll make it a sponsored segment.
Maybe
with
at some point here.
We got in the works. So
we'll see. We got a graphics company, and my graphics are on the way.
Nice. Okay, so maybe they can be the sponsor of opening ceremony.
We'll see.
And then we'll get the Supercross God voice in on it. But no, where are you at? Let's see if you did a little bit of music studying because you were trashing this segment last week.
Okay, yeah. So I didn't do too much here. Okay, I just happened to be listening to a song. I thought, and everybody's gonna fucking slay me in the comments here again. So this song's for Jet. Pop Smoke, Invincible.
No, for Jet here.
Yeah. He probably should win a couple more races before we do that one, but I thought the song would be fitting after how last week went.
Yeah.
It's the only song I'd come out to in outdoors all year if I was him.
Okay, fair enough. I'm gonna go with Ken Roxon next week.
Okay.
And this is a shout out to I would call him a friend, Justin Hills. He's the bass guitarist for Sleeping with Sirens.
Yep.
They've got a song called Legends.
Okay.
And I think it would bang in opening ceremonies, and especially with a guy like Roxon, who's somewhat legendary in our era right now. Mm-hmm. And he's kind of a punk rock guy. I think it would just fit really well. So if you don't know what song I'm talking to, go listen to Legends by Sleeping with Sirens.
What's that one song? This is how legends are made. Who sings that?
That's a different one.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying.
I don't know who sings that one. It's overplayed though.
Yeah,
I know which one you're talking about.
But that would be a good one for
like Tomac or something.
Yeah, Tomac, Deegan, Jet. I mean, you could go down the list of any of these guys. That's really good.
I think it's got to be a little more personal, I guess. I don't know. Roxon's kind of, like I said, kind of a punk rock guy. Like,
yeah, no, that's a really good one.
Sirens can kind of fall into that category, but it's not one of their super popular songs. But
is he friends with Ken too?
What's that?
Isn't he friends with Ken too?
I think he's talked to him here and there. I know him in Fortner chat here and there.
Okay.
So. Anyway, Justin's a good dude. If you see him at the local tracks around here in Michigan, say what's up. Not Justin Hill, but Justin Hills.
Yes. I'll try to do some more research this week. And what I mean is I'll try to listen to some more music.
Yeah,
and come
you're not
up
a
with
music guy, huh?
Something. No, I listen to a lot of podcasts and audiobooks throughout the week. That's why.
What about back in the day before podcasts were a thing?
What do you mean?
I mean, what'd you listen to when you were bouncing Rev down campus?
A lot of rap.
You're a Lil Wayne guy.
A lot of rap.
Like No Ceilings.
No worries. A lot of Lil Wayne, a lot of Eminem, a lot of 50 Cent. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So
you got 21 questions.
And they're all about us.
Oh, yeah.
So that would have been.
Talk. I love some music talk.
That would have. What was it? 2 Chainz.
2 Chainz is a little after that era, though.
No, that would have been right in that.
That's
because
like 3-6 Mafia.
Well, that too. Yep. Yeah, I can't really. It's really hard because I do enjoy some of their music, but because of what that whole number and situation stands for, and the journey I've gone down here, it's hard to.
For 3-6 Mafia.
Yeah.
I guess I don't. Yeah.
You know what 666 stands for, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So.
Okay, I got it.
When you start, when you start going down those kind of paths,
it's just like this Monster Energy thing right here.
That's a super interesting thing to. I don't know. I was literally debating the other day, knowing what I know with all this stuff. We're going down the TLR tinfoil hat here. I was literally debating the other day. I was like, if they called and said, "Hey, we want to give you a bunch of money," would I be able to take it?
From Monster Energy?
Yes.
I don't know, man. They're a massive beverage company.
Yeah, yes, I know, but there's things in my TLR tinfoil hat window that's like,
you think the cartel's laundering money through it?
No, not that, man. There's different stuff. I don't want to talk.
Okay,
we can't talk about it here.
If I really want to go down this road, I'll ask after. But
yes.
That's opening ceremonies. If you got something down below for San Diego, you got a guy, or you got a song that you would like to ride out to, let us know.
Yeah,
so we can imagine it. Bump it in the shower in the morning.
Okay, so where do you want to go from here? Do you want to I'm gonna
fire it up with some Deegan talk.
Okay, then let's do our Isaac Nelson Designs Deegan.
No. Hey, hold it. This ain't. You could classify this as Deegan Danger Zone, but I'm talking about.
It's the Deegan Danger Zone, everyone.
This is Deegan Hep, not Hayden Deegan. So we're having some Deegan talk.
Oh,
so,
my goodness. Okay.
Shout out to Checkers448 on Twitter.
Okay.
Actually found this information. Chris Reisenberg.
Yep.
So I'm going to read the tweet out loud here.
Okay.
And this is kind of a cool story. So Deegan Hep only had his girlfriend with him in San Francisco. He was on a stock CRF 450 with just revalve suspension. He wrapped the rear brake pedal around the peg in the heat. So he hammered it back straight the best he could for the LCQ. Privateer.
Yep.
He came from 16th to 5th, and with 2 to go, the brake pedal broke off again. Or broke off completely. So he passed into 4th place without the rear brake and made his first ever main. So a stranger saw he qualified and washed his bike for him in the stadium while he ran the 1.5 miles to get goggles and gas. So then he lined up with soaked-ass goggles because of him having to run in the rain from the pits all the way back. Lined up with soaked goggles from the run and no rear brake at all. And he was up to 12th and ended up 17th.
Wow.
So, and Chris says it right here, these are privateer stories you rarely get to hear and are really cool. He's been living in his van in the Race Tech parking lot.
Oh, Jesus.
And chasing his dream and all that stuff. So that's a pretty cool story. That's something that kid is going to hang his hat on forever. Like, hey, I broke my rear brake at a mutter, and this is one reason I like mutters, because you can kind of get some cool layered stories, like a layered chocolate cake they got out there.
Yep.
And No, I just wanted to share that because I thought that was a pretty cool little story there.
That's incredible. Oh man, these privateers are absolutely. I mean, it's unreal the stuff they go through to do that.
But guess what? He's selling tickets. Got a cool story like that. He paid his own entry fee. That's all I'm gonna say. So no, that's my Deegan talk, but it's Deegan Hep, not the direction you thought I was going, huh?
No. Now, let me ask you this, because this is something that's been brought up on Gypsy Tales here recently. Do you think do you think we should limit the entries in Supercross to, say, 40 dudes per class or something?
Yeah, I think so.
And not just make it where like
no disrespect, but
yeah, like no disrespect
the Grecos and stuff.
Yes, but like that, okay? And not just dump them out on the street and be like, yeah, sorry, dude, like you can't be a pro racer anymore, but like either make the arena cross series better or have a
feeder series.
Some sort of feeder series where like they can race that and it's more budget friendly and whatever to allow them. And then, okay, cool, you finish top 5 in that series over the course of the year. Then you get where you can actually enter into the other series, or you're like first alternate for next year. That way you would have your top 40 in points for each class would automatically be entered into the entire series for the next season. And then first through fifth in the feeder series would then be the first alternates for it. So if somebody gets hurt, boom, we just pop you up. That way we continue to have 40 dudes so we can fill the gates, but we don't have 67 privateer guys out in the pits who are in their van that don't even have an extra brake pedal.
That are there for the bio.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, Jace has brought this up a lot, and again, we're the same way as Jace. Is like I have nothing but respect for these guys. They're faster than I'll ever dream to be on a dirt bike. But like, if we're gonna be the pointy tip of the spear, I can't buy a Formula One car and just show up at a Formula One race and be like, "Yeah, I'm here to party."
Yeah, you got a good point there. I think you could take the NASCAR model a little bit. I mean, it'll never happen just because of probably time restraints in the stadium and all that stuff. But you could have like the truck series.
Yep.
And that's your guys that are trying to get their foot in the door.
But why can't it be that?
And the 250 class is like your Xfinity series. That's why I don't agree with the whole age thing.
Nope, I don't either.
Xfinity series and let those guys battle it out, make a living. And if he gets results and gets a shot, then he gets a shot in the Cup car, a.k.a. the 450 class.
Yep.
So I don't know, man. And there's going to have to be more money to go around.
But here's the thing. Why can it not be that, okay? Everybody is there Friday for press anyway. Why can so on Friday, why do we not have the
program on Friday?
Yeah, the B main series. I was thinking about this the other day.
B main series.
Yeah, why do we not have a B main series? And then why do we not, or the feeder series for both of them, whatever. And then why do we not have why do they not have like an hour of practice that day? So that way then Saturday, instead of showing up at 9 in the morning or 8 in the morning or whatever, now we don't got to be now they don't have to be there till noon, and then there's track walk to see if they made any changes, and then they do like 1 10-minute practice, and then we do like a 15-minute practice, 5 minutes of free practice, 10 minutes of qualifying, and then we do a super pole, and then we have the night show type stuff. Would be cool. Super Bowl has to happen at some point. Like they got to dig their heads out of their butts here and figure this out of like, this would be great for everything. Yeah. And then, like I said, then you could have the feeder series, the kids series, all that stuff on Friday. Yeah. And again, you have the main guys, the 40, 450 guys, the 40, 250 guys on the track Friday for an hour each, half hour, whatever. Make it a 30-minute practice of like, this is just free practice. We're not timing anything. Figure out the bike, whatever. Because like I said, everybody's there Friday anyway. And there's, I don't even know how many guys that get to ride press every week. Why are we BSing around like, oh, we're not really in the stadium Friday? Yes, we are. Yeah. We're there. Everybody's there. Track's built. We're ready to go. So like, Let's just do Friday and Saturday. I mean, they showed it with SMX where we had the practices on Friday. What were they trying to do? Generate more money to get people to show up on Friday to, whatever, and do camping or whatever. Cool, let's just do it with this too.
Yeah, and then they got some racing to watch. Yeah, I'm with you on that. It's just...
I mean, all the outdoors do it with camping and amateur days and all that stuff. So it's like, why are we continuing with Supercross to just be like, oh, can't do that? Yeah, okay, yes, we can.
Yeah, and I'm kind of with you on the... I guess I've never thought of it that way. Like, old Joe Blow can't go buy a Formula One car and try to make it. Like,
yes.
If Supercross is the pinnacle and that's what you're gonna make it,
you can't even buy.
It needs to be that way.
Like even NASCAR, okay. I guess, and I haven't followed NASCAR in a lot of years, but I guess you can kind of show up.
Buy a car now.
Yeah, well, you can go buy a car, but what's the cost to entry for that car?
Right.
That car's what?
Pull a sponsor in.
$250,000, $300,000 at least. It's not a $10,000 dirt bike with $5,000 suspension on it. Like where that's still a lot of money, way more than I have. It's still something that like a lot of people could do.
Yeah.
I could apply for a new credit card and build a Supercross bike tomorrow. No problem.
Right.
So it's like let's make it the pinnacle of the sphere.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with that. So, because you ain't gonna catch my ass trying to ride a Supercross track. Fuck that. Back at one time in my life, I'd been like, yeah, that's what I want to do. I want to go ride Supercross. Now
They're not bad.
This shit and I'm like,
it's not that bad, man.
You didn't ride one of those tracks.
What are you talking about?
What do you mean it's not that bad?
I rode Kev's. You don't think Kev's is a fucking pro Supercross track?
I don't think it compares to Worx and some of the pointy shit that they got.
Worx built it.
As pointy as this though, by the
Yeah.
time you rode it, he had burnt some laps in.
I mean, I guess. So it's like riding a practice track that these guys ride, all right?
But going...
I mean, yes, there's no tough blocks, so I'm not staring at tough blocks. And yes,
I don't know.
was
maybe next
burnt
time
in
you
a
go
little
down
bit.
There, I'll ride it, and maybe it'll change my tune. But
I mean, if you want to call my stuff not that,
riding a
you're
Supercross
correct.
track versus racing a Supercross track, maybe
I didn't say I wanted to go race it. I just like riding them. As far as riding goes, it's not that bad. I feel more sketchy with motocross tracks than I do on a Supercross track. Because motocross tracks, a lot of them are made that you can go very, very fast. Mm-hmm. And as the saying goes, speed kills. So when I'm out on that motocross track and I'm flying and all of a sudden there's a rut that got blown out or whatever that wasn't there the lap before, that becomes a problem very quickly. On this, if I jump the first double going into a section and I case that thing, I'm right on those brakes and nothing's happening. I'm just
broke.
And that's a thing too. But so no, man, I don't know this.
I don't know. Maybe if you ever go back down there, I'll go try to ride it.
I mean, when you're not trying to go 344 or 345, and
I mean, I guess take that back
and throw it upside down.
I would like to ride Supercross, but to ride at the level these guys have to ride.
Oh yeah, no
jump
way.
The shit that I don't want to jump.
Oh yeah, no way.
Yeah,
no way. I'm out on that.
Yeah.
But for an old guy, the flat track that doesn't have a bunch of ruts that I can just whatever. I've been thinking about like trying to figure out like and there's jet crashing. I've been thinking about trying to figure out like how to teach myself how to do whoops without getting hurt. Like not big whoops, but somebody somewhere I was reading or listening to something and they were like, yeah, so you build a whoop section with like 4 whoops in it.
So just figure out how to get started.
So that way you're just getting started and then you bounce out and then you just add a whoop every time and then you just slowly make them a little bit bigger.
Build it. I'll come over here.
I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it because like I don't. Even when I was at Kev's house, he was like, look, man, if you do want to go through whoops, he's like, number 1, don't let off. And he's like, number 2, just start and like angle this way. So like you just kind of hit a few and go off. Yeah. He's like, cause he's like, as long as you don't lose speed and you like maintain your body position, he told me, he's like, you can go through them without like stew speeding through them. Mm-hmm. He's like, and it's not that bad. So I don't know, man. That's, a fat old guy who broke his ankle on a fucking finish line jump, so whatever. Yep. So whatever. Anyway, all right. Let's did you want to talk about the other Deegan right now too before we move on?
No, let's say that.
Okay,
Say that.
all right.
We did one segment, got off the rails here. Let's get into our 450 review.
Yeah. So comment down below what you guys think. Like, should we make like a 40-man 450? Or comment your thoughts on how you think we should progress the sport. Because we've been doing the same thing now for 50 years.
Yeah.
It's time to start moving
And they're
things.
taking a little bit of a step into moving the sport with SMX and stuff. But I think, yeah, they need to figure out if they want to make this the pinnacle. And if it's going to be the pinnacle, then how do you get there? You know
Yes.
what I mean? So.
Yes, and I don't even want to here's let me just do this. I don't even want to badmouth Feld because I do believe that Feld and Prater and them are trying to make steps to make things
go that
different and better. I know that I've listened to a lot of interviews with Wygant and JT talking about how they went to the press thing or whatever with Feld, and they were basically like, okay, no money's not an option. What can we do to make things better? So, and I know there's been a lot floated out that like they're really trying to do the onboard camera thing, which I like. I agree with Jace from Gypsy Tales a lot of if we had onboard cameras and onboard communication where we could where they could kind of talk back and forth, the rider and the mechanic, and we could listen to that even if it's not a lot, like the onboard cameras, so that I could pay for the app on my computer or whatever, and I could watch whoever. I think that would be great for the sport.
Well, I think, even if it's not just I think the rider and the mechanic wouldn't talk to each other very often. I think that'd be, everything's so mental in this game. You say one thing in here and you lose focus, you're done.
Maybe. Jace has broke this down a lot, so go listen to him if you guys want to really know.
Yeah.
And I agree with a lot of what he's saying about it.
But I do like what's the team manager calling down to from the tower, and what's the suspension guy saying up in section 510?
Yes. Yes.
Stuff like that.
Yes, and I think that would all be super interesting to hear or have available to us or whatever too. Like I want to hear the guy from KYB saying, because they're usually Japanese, saying fork stroke low or whatever, however they talk, whatever. I'd like to hear that. So,
and then one last thing I'll say before we move on. But,
and there's Jet crashing again.
Oh, there goes your soul. They're just throwing those goggles off, just pissed.
Well, I mean, I would be too. Do you see that whole set of roll-offs just hanging off the side? That's rough, dude. That's rough. It was a rough night.
Never
Anyway,
ran roll-off, so I don't know. But I think it is a good thing that you're starting to see a little bit of a changing of the guard in the media, where you've got guys like Wygant that have come from the trenches, a guy like Jason Thomas who's come from the trenches as a racer.
We probably shouldn't go down this avenue because I was ranting about this last night.
I didn't listen.
Nope, not on the show.
Period.
Yeah, I just in private. Yes, I'm not ranting.
You don't like that these guys are in there?
No, those guys are fine.
Ricky needs to go.
I was listening to the press conference, and there was some other things that I was really excited about. But we're not going to get into that.
Okay.
We're going to just keep flowing. We'll talk about that when we quit recording.
Okay, so maybe
I do like that we just getting his shot here with Supercross. I think that's fantastic. If I have to listen to Ricky tell me that it's like pushing a fucking wheelbarrow again, though, like shut the fuck up, man.
Did you see the tweet I put out on our page?
No.
I said if there's a word of the day that I don't know about, is it wheelbarrow? And if it is, Ricky's nailing it. And then at the end, it was dead silent, and the poor guy goes, "Yeah, corroborate," or something right at the end.
Oh, dude, I know. And I'm just like,
I don't know what it was, if he's, really rusty because he missed a round or what, but I think it was just extra bad last night.
Dude, it was terrible. Like, how many times did he say wheelbarrow? We should get a counter going on that.
Wheelbarrow, he said quagmire one time, giggity, and he said...
but he did say quagmire. I was like, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Great word, bud.
And then... Jorge Prado on the TLD Red Bull Gas KTM.
Yeah. Dude, I'm just like, oh, man. So...
Is it CTE? What is it?
What?
He didn't really hit his head much when he was racing, though.
Yeah, he did. In fact, I know this because I was just watching today, and I was going to bring this up to you. Bro, I was watching Bar to Bar 2002.
Okay, he was on his head a lot in 2002.
Yeah, like literally the first round, he went to Indonesia right in front of Larocco over that little hip jump or whatever.
That's also the same year he did the loop out in Pontiac.
Yes. Yeah. Can we talk about how stacked 2002 was, though? Larocco, Carmichael, McGrath, Pastrana, Villeman, Roncada, Ferry. I know I'm missing people.
Yeah, those are all really good.
But I
dudes.
mean, dude, you're Ricky, McGrath, Pastrana. Like,
yeah. And there's another one. Weege says it all the time, so a lot of credit to Weege on this one. But most people overlook 05.
yeah.
Because Stu comes out on the cover of Racer X.
Yes.
My Whole Life is About January 8th. And make the most anticipated debut of all time.
Yep.
It rains. So you got Stu on the line. You've got Jeremy McGrath. Like, there are tons of storylines here. You got Jeremy McGrath coming in as a part-time
Yep.
on a factory Honda.
Yep.
You got Pastrana, who's a wild card. You don't know what he's going to bring.
No.
You got Chad Reed, who's obviously Chad Reed. You got Ricky with the switch to Suzuki.
Yep.
You've got Wyndham. You don't know what kind of Wyndham's going to show up, but
Yep.
you can win on any given day.
Yep. Oh, he was in that 02 season also.
Yep. Probably on a Suzuki.
Yes.
So you got those guys right there. 05, I believe, had Laraco, but kind of on the end of his career.
Yeah.
A guy like Villeman, can he rebound and be back to where he was? Like, 05 was pretty good. I mean, they say stacked every year. If you go back and look, like, every year's been pretty stacked on paper. So
Yeah. Well, I got a lot of that. I got a lot of those comments last night too on the reaction show talking about Jet's outdoor series and how he didn't race anyone. I said, okay, cool. Well, let's go back to Stu and Ricky's seasons.
who were they racing?
And let's count who they were racing. I go, let's count champions, past champions, both in the little bikes and the big bikes. Because yes, I know there wasn't any outdoor champions this year racing Jet.
AC with a 250 title.
No, yeah, but that's what I'm talking about.
You're talking
Big bike title. There wasn't anybody.
Well, who did Carmichael race that had a big bike title? Nobody.
Well, who did? I don't know Carmichael's years. I haven't dug into that. But let's talk.
He was racing against his own records.
Let's talk about Stu. Who did Stu beat?
In his year, yeah, none of those guys had
Mike Alessi. That was his biggest competitor was Mike Alessi.
Yeah, Grant Langston.
Yes.
Yeah.
So anybody who's like, oh, he raced a depleted
That is
field
a
all
good
summer.
point, I'll give you that.
In the infamous words of
I
Darren
don't agree
Lawrence,
with you very often.
then
I'm
maybe
sorry.
you should beat us, motherfuckers. So anyway, all right. Let's jump into this 450 race recap brought to you by our friends at Gutter Worx. Always well hung, just like Justin Barsha.
His tongue was hanging.
His tongue was hanging last night, bro.
And his other tongue was probably pretty shriveled up because it was cold.
More than likely. So, all right. So we'll fire right off. So Chase Sexton gets the win. How do you get that start?
So we watched this. We were looking, and if you go back, maybe Jet didn't do this or missed the boat, but we were watching Plessinger, and his mechanic reached over and wiped off the front of the gate. Not all the other guys were doing that.
Yeah.
And then we were like, man, Sexton's got to do that, because at the time when the camera showed, it looked like he had done that.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, Sexton, obviously, in the replay, you could see the gate was wiped off. So when he went over the plastics, it wasn't all wet.
Yeah. His timing was
timing was incredible.
impeccable.
But you know what it makes me think of? Remember when we went to St. Louis?
Yeah.
Do you remember that first start in that Triple Crown?
No.
It was just like that.
By him?
Yeah. Go back and look up.
So it'd been St. Louis.
Maybe while I'm
22.
yapping right here, go to St. Louis highlights from that year. But he did it very Alessi
What year
style.
was that? 22? Did we win?
Did we go in 22?
Last year was 23.
Yeah,
And then the year
we went
before.
22.
St. Louis
same thing.
Supercross 2022.
Oh, you can talk into the remote?
Yeah.
So this
Alexa,
is cool that
bro.
we got the TV like this.
This
man.
is cool.
But,
Oh, wait, hold on. Go to YouTube and look up St. Louis Supercross 2022.
I feel like we're on Joe Rogan.
Hey, Jamie.
Yep, go to that one.
Okay, let's see here.
You're going to want to go in a little bit, but for all those watching this at home, go and watch this race as well. This is all 250 stuff.
Is that what this is?
In the beginning, I believe.
Let's
But
see.
it was I remember this. It reminded me of Alessi when he got that whole shot at Anaheim 1 a long time ago.
Oh, okay.
The heat race when he cried.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll wait for this to play through real quick.
Well, no. Keep talking here. Keep talking.
Yeah. Just fast forward it.
Dude, I'm going to
I
miss
don't want
it.
to watch RJ Hampshire weed it up.
Let's see
We
here.
watched him. We
This is
did.
great. This is great.
Great radio here.
Great radio, bro.
Anyway, that's what it reminded me of. And he said in the interview it was dumb luck because he kind of flinched.
Yeah.
The gate ended up dropping anyway.
Yes.
But I think he was kind of going the Alessi method where he was trying to time
Just
it.
counting it.
Yeah. Yeah. So, anyway, phenomenal. What a clutch time to pull a start like that, especially in a mud race. Because, man, all those other guys, as soon as they got down the start straight, you might as well put a blindfold over them.
100%.
So
100%.
It's like a picture of Kenny right before Kenny stalled it.
Yeah.
Dude, blackout. Full blackout.
He said that in the press conference. He was
Yeah.
like, yeah, I couldn't see.
That's 450 stuff right there, I believe.
I don't think so. Hold on. Let's see here. Great radio.
that's
No,
all
it's race
250
3.
stuff.
Hold on.
We're getting close. You're going to be like, holy shit, when you see this.
Let's see here. Yeah, there's Jet.
All right. Go back a little bit more. Go back a little bit more. Because we were sitting right direct in front of this, and it was identical.
All right, let's see here.
So, hit the timestamp on this. What are we looking at?
we are looking
Go
about
to Supercross, round 13 in St. Louis.
Extended highlights.
17 minutes and 30 seconds in.
Let's see here.
And you guys will know what we're talking about and why we're wasting your time here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But
Oh,
look how
wow.
far out he is.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
They didn't show the actual drop, but it was the same thing.
That is exactly the same. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Anyway,
That
okay.
was one of the few times I'd been at a races and watched the start and been like,
Wow.
wow. And I had him for FFL, so I was juiced up. I remember that night.
Oh, I'm gonna rant about that later.
FFL,
Yeah. So
I feel naked without Pulp Fantasy, but
we'll rant about that later.
okay, well we'll hold that for the holster co. But yeah, Sexton needed that, man. Kind of made a little bit of a statement with the new team there, and it's weird that he's been the most consistent guy 2 rounds in.
It is. It is. So he.
Oh, there's Dean ripping his butthole out.
Jesus. Okay. All right. Let's just bag this up here.
God, that's gruesome.
Anyway, yeah. So back to San Francisco here. But go check out that 2022 St. Louis race if you want to see Sexton rip a hole shot there, much like he did last. Yeah, very reminiscent. Which he did make comments that he was like, "Yeah, I've only done this like a couple times in my career." And there's somebody actually in the comments was like, "TLR tinfoil hat." They're cheating. I was like, oh
Okay,
boy,
what
here
are
we
they
go.
cheating on? You know?
I don't know how, but it's
Maybe they got some kind of fucking timer on the ignition that's synced in with the gate
who
dropper.
knows? Who knows? Are you shocked that he is as open as he is of how bad that bike was for him in the off season?
I'm really not, because I think Chase is a guy that's always been pretty open, and he's been on record saying like, I'm pretty open to talk about the bike and stuff because what works for me isn't going to work for Cooper Webb.
Yeah.
So why be secretive about it? So,
Yeah. Dude, I'll tell you what. I'm a little shocked that he hasn't gotten his hand slapped between last week and this week of talking about how bad the bike is, because most of the time the teams don't. I guess we just talked about this a lot. The teams don't really say anything to him, but most of the guys are like, oh, I don't want to piss anybody off, so I want to say it. And with him being on a new team and knowing how kind of KTM works as a fairly corporate situation, it's interesting to say the least.
Yeah. It's almost like the I don't know if there's some kind of word for it, but like an under promise over deliver kind of thing, where he talks about how bad the bike was and stuff, but
Yeah.
then when he starts winning, it's like, holy shit, those guys were grinding and got him wherever he need to go.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But again, we still don't really know where the bike is, because he said during the week they made changes and it was a lot better. But now we've raced a mud race. So here we go again. We don't have any fucking clue what the fuck's really happening with
he was
it.
pretty bummed. He wished it would have been dry.
Yeah.
Tomac also made
But
a
he does
change.
have the red plate going back into next week into San Diego here. So, which will be fun. Trade back and forth here. We'll see how it goes.
He got out front and was gone, dude. 10 seconds in the
He
first
did,
lap or
yeah.
something. So,
Yeah.
man, good for him.
Yep. Tomac bounces back. He gets second place there.
Ooh, he needed that.
That was a solid ride there. But again, too, he'd come on next week, get 10th, and I'd be like, okay right now, because who knows? I mean, it was a mutter, and he just Team VRM'd it into the finish last night.
Yeah, he man, it's crazy the ability he has to suck at A1 every single year. Besides last year, that was an outlier.
Yeah.
And then just come back and reset. also made changes to the bike, or as he likes to say, the motorcycle.
Yes.
Made changes to the motorcycle this week and went back to something from last year, which we'll see how that works when it gets dry. It just keeps us hanging on until next week again.
Yep. Well, Coker said that it kind of, how do you word it, lit a fire under his ass for the week or something here.
Sure.
And he said that Tomac had a very good week. So we'll see what San Diego looks like here if it's dry. Hopefully it looks good. And because in all reality, as I've said before and I'll say it again, as much as I want Jet to win every single race, because personally I'd be like, yeah, it's awesome. It's boring for us if we don't have things like this where it's like bouncing back and forth. And in fact, it's way more exciting to have it bouncing back and forth and not really know what's going to happen. And if you have at least a couple of these guys that can win like this, then it makes it way more exciting. Yeah. And speaking of way more exciting, Ken Roxon gets third, which is amazing.
Well, yeah, I mean, he was blindfolded in the start there.
Yep.
Stalled it.
Yep.
But I was like, you know what? There is one advantage to that Kickstarter in a wet condition.
Mm-hmm.
He was able to kick that bad boy over, whereas maybe Shimoda or Volan, which we'll get into, that might have been an electrical issue.
Could have. Yep.
And I bet you Shimoda wish he had a Kickstarter.
Yep. Now, update. I believe it was somebody in the comments, and we've kind of done a little digging around. They did put a electric start on Ken's bike and tested it, and it vibrated too much. Is what I've heard now. So
it's kind of interesting.
Yeah, supposedly from what I'm hearing through the grapevine, from Larry Brooks, they're working on it. But they did put one on, and they tested it, and it vibrated too much. Ken didn't like it, so that's
in the works.
Interesting to say the least.
In the works, but he loved his Kickstarter last night.
He did.
He was stroking that thing. So.
He did. Now,
and he came from a long way back.
He did.
BRM.
He did.
Good in the mud.
Now, let's just say this: we still don't really know where Ken slots in here because
I think he's going to be damn good.
I think so too, because he goes down in the first section in A1. Now we've had a mud race, and he's come back through the pack on both of them.
For the most part, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. I would love to see him get a start in San Diego.
Yeah.
And really see where he's at.
Yeah.
With these guys.
I agree.
Because I think with the bike development they've had and things like that, I think he's going to be in the mix.
I think mindset's good too. So.
Yeah, I think so too. So, and speaking of in the mix here, Shane McElrath, Shane Sins,
Johnny
Shane.
Oh
my God, that mustache, a handlebar combo. Oh,
there was something funny last night on Twitter. Somebody was like, "What's Shane's wrestling name gonna be?" And I respond, Johnny Sins.
There was
man,
a lot of that.
I put him as my wild card for RM Fantasy. I'm like, fuck,
dude.
But I'm also like, good for Shane.
Yeah,
and good for Hep Suzuki.
Yeah.
Pretty dang cool, man. This is a guy that battled Chase in a championship and never kind of got Savachi'd into the 450 class.
Basically, yeah. He's. I mean, this to me is just fantastic to see him put something together like this.
Another reason I like mud races.
Get a yeah. Again, later in the year, and I'll be much happier. Right. But round 2, I'm pissed. All right.
Okay. You would have never seen that Hulk stash. You would have never.
No. But I mean, dude, just incredible to see him get a 4th place here in.
Stayed there the whole time.
A 450, dude. Yeah. Got to start and just stayed there, which is crazy because I wouldn't call him a mud rider.
I don't know. He did really good last time there was a mud race too.
Did he? Last year in what's it called?
East Rutherford, maybe, or wherever that one was.
Let's see here. Yeah, New Jersey. I think it was New Jersey. Let's see here.
Can you click on his name and?
Yeah. Pull it up? Yeah, I guess he got 6th.
Yeah. Okay.
So
I guess I overlooked that as well, making my Rocky Mountain fantasy picks.
Yeah.
Since I don't have Pulp MX fantasy picks to make anymore, but
we're gonna get to that.
I know.
Okay. All right. Next up, we got Aaron Plessinger, 5th place,
Consistent.
back-to-back 5ths. This is a great start to the season, in my opinion.
Remember
for
when
him.
I said he was going to be my breakout guy?
Mm-hmm. Little bit less in the main than I thought we were going to see with the muddy conditions, but
him and 2 corners to go on wins is not a good record.
Oh, man, dude. So I'll tell you what, it was really strange last night to watch the guys how good they did in the heats, and then in the mains they just sucked in both classes.
Yeah.
For some reason, it sucks relative.
I think it
got
was start
fifth.
dependent for sure.
Yeah, I think so too. I really thought he was going to be on the box last night with the conditions, but I guess whatever. It is what it is. And I mean, dude, if he goes through and just rattles off top fives here, by the time we get to the end of the season, it's going to be crazy where he's actually at in points.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you.
Just go 5 every single race, end up 5th in points at the end.
That'd be
Just
such a
nothing but
buzz,
5
too.
across the board. So that'd be awesome. I like that little piece they did talking about his cowboy hat and how he has to have it, and that one lady has to tote it around and stuff, and those people came in and did it for him or whatever. Did you see that piece they
I
did?
didn't see it. See, I always watch the race with a group of people, so I don't really get to listen to the broadcast. Except for last night, we were really tuned in on Ricky.
Yeah, so I guess this cowboy hat, they have like a hat holder and everything, and this lady for Red Bull KTM is in charge of this, and she walks of the hat. And she has to keep it clean and walk it around. I don't know. So these people came from Texas, and this guy was his hat guy at A1 or whatever, so it was kind of cool.
That was cool.
It's interesting to see, for as corporate as we do say Red Bull KTM is, to see them let something like that kind of happen,
like I said, man, the off-road world and GNCC world.
Oh, man,
the market
kill
that
it
they want to
there.
sell bikes to.
Yeah.
That's AP.
Yep.
So
So Dylan Ferrandis, another sneaky good ride here, 6th place.
sneaky heat win.
Sneaky heat win. I mean,
This is exactly what he needs to do. Let's just get to outdoors.
yeah, just make it through, get to outdoors, baby.
Yeah. They
So
were talking about split clamps or extra clamps or something that he was running. He's got HRC boys on there now. Do you know that?
he did. So after we talked about this last week, and you said that, and I was like, that's weird. He does have HRC clamps and the front brake. He's got a couple HRC parts as of right
I knew
now.
that was coming.
And dude, if he continues to battle around this top 5, he'll get
some more
more
parts.
HRC parts without a problem. So he's very happy with that bike, though.
Good.
Like, he cannot say how much he is happy with that bike.
Good.
I mean, I think,
This sport's better with him in it, a little French flair.
Yep. And, okay, continuing on with our foreigners here. Jorge Parado.
So after that heat race, he signed. He's delivered. He's coming.
Oh, yeah.
He got a taste of that heat
Bro.
and he's like, I'm in it.
The how was your weekend? So we got anything we want to talk about for 2025? Oh, man, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, okay, yeah, we
he
all
signed.
know.
He already signed.
Yeah, he's here next
and to
year.
be honest, man, like maybe on paper, like these 7ths, 8ths, 13ths and stuff
Yeah.
aren't looking great, but once you like wrap your head around it and take a step back and look at it a little more, like no 250 class, stepping right into the big boys.
Right there, yep.
Hanging a little bit, figuring it out, whole different format. Like,
Well, and there was something I
Pretty
listened to
damn
this
good.
week. They were talking about at the end of the race last week, like the last 5 laps or something, he was playing around in a rhythm section with a different line. And they were like, he knows he's not here to race all year. He's here to learn and get his feet wet. And him doing that was like, whoa. Because like most guys at the end of the race are not trying different things like that.
I mean,
They're
he was
just getting to
battling
the
it out,
end.
too.
Yeah.
Did you see him run into AC? He slammed AC in the corner for 12th and didn't get him, so he got 13th.
Oh,
But
yeah,
bad enough to
AC
where
said that,
AC
yeah.
had a bone bruise, didn't ride all week.
Yeah. AC talked about that.
So,
Yeah.
he's fighting for every spot too.
Yep. So it'll be interesting to see. We get dry track next week where we're at with that.
Yeah, I don't know if it was a video that was from this week or not, but it was some footage of him riding, and the bike looked a lot more compliant. Like I remember, like A1, I think of the whoops, him going through there. That bike looked so stiff, dude. It didn't look like it moved. In the video I saw, it looked a lot softer.
Interesting.
So maybe you can figure out how to get the bike softer. And
Yeah.
figure out how to get the, what do they call it? The hard hit at the bottom. They got some term for it, but
Yeah.
I'm drawing a blank right now.
Something in the bottom of the stroke.
Yeah, what do they call it? I don't fucking know.
I don't know either.
TCD, help us out.
Yeah. All right, moving on. AC gets 8th.
Battling with Prado.
Dude,
Prado and AC just battling. Was that on
just
your
some
card?
epic. No,
Yeah.
it wasn't on the bingo card. I wonder last night how that was for the wrist.
I think it was probably all right because you're not really.
You don't think he's death gripping it?
Is it left or right?
I don't remember.
Whatever one he's trying to work the clutch with.
Yeah, I think it's left.
I don't know, man. It's
Thanks.
bedtime. That's a good question, though. Look at you over there yawning now.
Yep. No, that's because I watched you do
No,
it.
that's a good question. I think that the pace they're going there, I don't think it's as bad. But
Yeah.
I could be completely wrong. You got a heavier bike to work with. You're a lot more tensed up. Who knows?
Yeah.
But either way, keeping her in the top 10,
Be interesting to ask him.
what we need.
See. All right. Okay. So Jet gets ninth. Got lapped. We are not a Supercross mud specialist.
Oh, here we go.
So
So what are you going to do when he gets like fourth next weekend?
but I think this fired off. This was just a situation of the whole day too, though. Of the whole day didn't go well. Qualifying wasn't great for him. Then you get into the heat, and he just comes in hot on that first corner because he was going for that whole shot in the heat there, and he was right next to Prado coming in, and you could see him lock up. And then he was just sliding through that first corner, and I'm going, oh, crap. And from there on out, it just went downhill after that.
Yeah.
So this is one of those things that, like, if he gets a start in that heat, what does the rest of the night look like then? If he doesn't end up
It's like a
crashing,
domino effect kind of thing.
yeah, like if he doesn't slide through that first corner, he gets the whole shot, and he just wins that heat race, and then comes into the main and gets his start in the main because his confidence is up because he won the heat. What does that look like compared to he crashed 3 times in the heat, then he crashed multiple times in the main? I mean, dude, you look at everything, okay? Not only was it just a mud race, it was a mud race, then he's down multiple times. His roll-offs are all fucked up in that heat race. Like, we just watched that. He's got the whole entire thing of roll-offs pulled out. He's throwing the goggles, whatever, so he can't see. I mean, dude, it was just a mess.
Yeah, but I think
It was just a mess. And
Yeah,
that's
it was a
fine.
mess. It was.
And again, I'm not going to make any excuse. He just fucking sucked last night. That was all there was to it.
Yeah, but that's a rookie thing for him. Everybody wants to talk about how great he is and stuff. If he was truly one of the greats, like a Tomac, you'd have a shitty heat race like that. You'd completely reset yourself and go out and kill him in the main.
Yeah.
And
He
the
didn't
way
get a
you
good- he
kind
didn't
of
get a good
explained
start
it
in
to
the main,
me-
though, either.
And the way you kind of explained it to me would be a chink in his armor, in a sense. If he starts off the day wrong and gets a shitty start and it domino affects the wrong way,
Yeah.
that's not a champion.
I suppose.
So-
I think it was weird circumstances yesterday with the rain and the mud. That's what I think it was.
Yeah.
I think on a normal day, even if something I mean, look at last week.
Yeah,
We crashed
that's
in
what
the
I
heat
mean.
race last week, and then what do? We came out.
Exactly.
We
You
got
hit the
past
reset
first.
button.
We got past first corner in the main. We came right back, passed them right back, and boom, we were off to the races, and we were gone, and no one could touch us.
Yeah, hit the reset button.
Yep. Now, I will tell you this, and I said it last night in the group chat, and I'll say it here again. If every other round is dry and we win every single other round, you're going to have a hard time convincing me we couldn't have gone 17-0 had we not had the fucking weather.
Here we go.
I'm just
hopefully
saying.
he loses next weekend. So
If he loses another one,
I hate
okay,
rooting against
sweet,
people
whatever.
like that.
But if he goes 16-1, then you're going to have a hard time convincing me we couldn't have won this one also.
never,
see.
Never gonna happen in Supercross. but-
We'll see. Look, I'm off the 17-0 train. Obviously, we can't do that now.
So now he's on the
However,
16-1 train.
Now we're on 16-1.
And then what are you gonna do? Are you gonna board the 15-2 train?
After 16-1, then it doesn't matter because then we're getting
okay.
into like McGrath era stuff where he won like every one but one. So because didn't McGrath have a year he won every one but one?
Yep, St. Louis.
Yeah.
St. Louis, he lost.
Yep.
He didn't get to take a nap.
Yep. That was only 15 race series though. Then right?
I don't know.
I don't remember either.
Either way.
Yeah. So once we lose another one, then we're off the train of like how many we can win, whatever. But although I do have to say, did you watch Race Day Live yesterday?
I did a little bit, and I don't know. I just kind of tuned out because there wasn't much going on.
Clinton Fowler had a stat on him that was basically Jet wins 86 point something % of the time. If you go by the amount of races he's done to the amount of wins he's had. So he said at that stat rate, he could win conservatively 11 rounds this year. If he continues that stat rate, which, okay. I mean,
Anderson won what, 8, 9?
7 or 8, yeah. So to me, that seems very doable there for him, barring anything crazy like 18 mud rounds. But whatever,
Yeah.
we'll see. So, all right, right behind him, brother Hunter. I mean, at least he made the main this week.
Bit of a rant here.
Okay, all right, I'm in on this.
here.
Let's hear this rant, baby.
Why the fuck's he in the A practice?
Well, I mean, why wouldn't he be?
What's the difference between Hunter Lawrence sucking ass and earning his way into the B practice?
Yeah.
But random privateer Wilma Dickfit back there in the corner.
How about Prado was in B practice last week?
Yeah, but guess what? He made the main and got a result and earned his way into the A practice.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's
Yeah,
like Prado was in there last week, and you can't
it
put
drives me
Hunter
nuts,
in there.
Man. It drives me nuts. Like, how is he run the B practice and go by the rules that these privateer guys would go on by?
Yeah,
Like Grant Harlan, they'd put his ass in the B practice.
100%. Kev was in B practice.
I don't know. Annoying. The
Yeah.
other thing that's annoying is he had a broken toe apparently going into the round, and nobody mentioned anything.
Last week?
Yeah. Apparently his toe was broken coming to day one or something.
Sweet. Super cool.
But I can't confirm that. I just seen that floating around somewhere. But
So here's the thing is like, again, we don't have any, like, this doesn't give us any info. We don't
At least
know.
he made the main in the mud.
Yeah, like he made the main, but like we don't know where he stacks up at this point. He rode a mud race and finished in the top 10. So like whatever. He at least made the main, so like it's back on track, but I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I'm still
There was some dipshit on Twitter.
Oh, boy.
I was ranting about like the A practice thing, and he's like, "Well, he came out and went third." And I was like, "No shit, it was a muddy track, and he was smart and came out on a fresh track and put a good time in."
yeah.
Dipshit.
Some people's kids, man. Cooper Webb 11th.
That's a little concerning, but
I mean,
if
you want-
anybody can claw back into a championship, it's Webb.
we want to talk about Jet having a bad night. I mean, Webb 11th after
had a bad
second,
night.
or well,
Fifth,
whatever,
fifth. Should've been
fifth.
a
But
second.
yeah, run around in second
So
last
he's
week.
18 down now.
Yeah, and then you've got Jason Anderson 12th because
Down
he
on the
hit.
start though.
He had a quagmire on that start straight.
Is that where the comment came from?
I don't know, but it was a quagmire because
He's the
he
one
just
that
was
started that
going
whole
and boom, yeah.
Tuck the front. He probably reached up to pull a tear off and
Probably hit
Yeah,
a soft spot all at the same time. Yeah, that was bad.
So,
He had a rough night.
Yeah, I mean, good for Jason Anderson though, because I don't really consider him a mud rider.
No.
To make his way back up to 12th, I'd be happy with that if I were him.
Yep. Derek Drake 13th.
Very impressive.
Yep.
That needs to get talked about more, I think.
Yeah,
This
he's
is, rookie 450 season for Derek Drake.
yeah, on a Suzuki, not a
A Bar
HEP
X
one,
Suzuki,
a
yeah.
Bar X one. So yeah, Christian Craig 14th.
Do you think he would have done better if he wore the speed suit?
No.
It was more of a surfer set of gear, and maybe with the water, I thought maybe he would gel a little more.
Yeah.
No,
No.
You don't think he would have done better?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm not on that.
All right.
Austin,
Craig has got to be in a dark place.
it can't be good, dude. It can't be good.
I think he's got to be in a dark place right now.
Which sucks.
I don't think that bike ain't for him. He needs to be back on an aluminum frame.
Oh yeah, I think I think, and again, we'll wait till outdoors. But I think that is a big fucking problem.
Yeah.
Is that bike?
Yeah, I believe so too. And he's a confidence guy. He's a very mental guy.
Yes.
So.
Here's the thing that sucks is like we're like, oh, he's in a dark place, bro. All 22 of these guys should be in a fucking good spot because you are one of 22 of the fastest
yeah. Oh, I
dudes
agree.
on the planet, dude. And we don't do enough celebrating that. Everybody's top heavy, and this goes to anything, Formula One, this, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, everybody shits on the Haas guys or something, but
Yeah, but it's like, dude, they're still racing Formula One.
yeah.
So
I agree. He's still making a damn good living.
Austin Politelli, 15th. That's good. Made the
Definitely
main.
Not on anybody's Rocky Mountain
Nope.
fantasy wildcard.
Not at all. Dean Wilson, 16th.
How about Diener the Wiener getting into the main off Vince Freezy getting docked? Talk about some karma.
Poetic justice right
Yeah,
there.
yeah, that's pretty
Poetic
awesome.
justice.
And then Vince in the LCQ, like somehow Bubba Pauly was going to pull a main event out of his ass.
Yeah.
And he got vinced.
Yes.
Unintentionally, but of course.
Yeah,
It's
but of
Vince.
course. Well, I like that we all thought Vince was going to miss this week with his shoulder. And then
Nope.
next thing I'm like, wait, Vince is racing. Like,
Yeah.
what?
How about the Moto Concepts rig parked right next to the Firepower rig?
So great. So great. I just want to see, dude, I want to see Dino and Vince recreating the Roncata Villamin
Where they're smacking
each other,
Yeah,
running
yeah.
into each other that I saw from O2 today. Oh, God, that'd be epic.
Yep.
You want to talk about me just having hours of things to talk about?
Look, man, we're getting off topic here, but O2, how fast was Pastrana in the beginning of that year?
Oh, man, just unreal, but
Yeah.
just couldn't keep it off the ground.
Yeah,
Very Dylan Ferrandis-ish.
I mean, he was damn good.
Yeah. So, Justin Barsha, 17th. Is it weird that, like, Prado is better than Barsha?
How do you think Barsha felt in the mud getting lapped by Prado in the heat?
I made a note of that. It's in my notes right here.
Yeah.
I literally was I didn't capitalize that, but I was like, they lapped Barsha.
Yeah, I didn't know there was something wrong with him or he was sick. or
Yeah, he
something,
was
but-
real sick. Real sick.
Yeah, I wish I would have known that going in. I'm doing like the Vital MX fantasy thing, and I'm pretty sure he was on my squad.
I don't know. I gave up on fantasy here because of the whole pulp thing, which
I
we'll talk
know,
about.
I know. It's crazy how much that has affected my
Yeah.
life.
Justin Rodbell, 18th. Okay.
Not on my
radar to make the main at all.
nope, right
So,
out of the heat too.
Yeah, so that was good. And Cade Clayson, 19th. Freddie made it in through the LCQ, which was good because I was like, oh man, the 22 not making a main.
Was
That's
he running
weird.
the Chad Reed font on the jersey?
I don't know if
It
he
looked
is or
like
not.
he was.
He
and I
might
was like,
be.
that's a little aggressive for me.
It's fine. Jason Claremont, you got anything on him?
Bone stock Cowie, stock with a pipe. Go to your local dealership and pick one up now.
They pay the best contingency. That's why everyone rides them. Let's just point out the obvious
they're
here.
just their best bike in the paddock.
Yeah, and they pay $400 more in contingency to make the main than everybody else.
No, he's on a bone stock rig.
Yeah, although I think that will change
Suspension
here because I
problem.
heard Yamaha's starting to up theirs to try to match it here. So,
Oh, Yamaha?
yeah, so we'll see here how that works out. But anyway,
Well, they have a really good, like after being on the dealership side, the Team Green program is like really, really cool.
yeah,
So if you have a good relationship with your dealer and you ride Cowies, mention the Team Green program.
fun fact. And 22nd, Malcolm Stewart. Poor Stu, man. This
Not
is
a
rough.
good day for Stu. The Indonesia in practice, that one was rough.
That was terrible.
Yo.
You're like AC staying
was-
there.
Like, AC conveniently wearing yellow gear, like he's the flag.
and gloves. Stop.
Yeah, he's the flag. Good on AC. That's such
Yeah.
an AC thing to do.
Yep, it is.
But man, yeah, Mookie was definitely doing a lot of swimming.
A lot.
So
Man.
hopefully he can pull it back together because the first two rounds have not been great for him or the whole Husky squad for that matter.
Dude, the
in
Husky
450
450 squad. Now we're going on year 2 of this is rough.
Rough.
This is really rough. So, all right. So that's been your 450 race recap. Brought to you by our friends at Gutterworks. Always well hung, just like Justin Barsha.
And if you're getting rain like they had in San Francisco, I tell you what, Oracle Park needed some Gutterworks gutters. I promise you that.
They sure did. Okay, so let's do our rants here.
Oh, you want to let them rip?
Yep.
I'm wondering if yours isn't down the same program mine's in.
Uh,
You're getting into the Deegan topic though. My rant.
no, my rant's not about Deegan.
Okay, what's your danger zone topic then?
You want to do Danger Zone first, then?
Let's rip some danger zone.
Okay, so this is your Isaac Nelson Designs Deegan Danger Zone.
Oh shit.
Here we go. And we got to do this because we're not going to have any Deegan Danger Zones to do the rest of the Supercross season.
Because Michael Mosman's riding the bike.
Michael Mosman has signed with Star Yamaha.
I want to see where you're going with this before I start.
So
talking.
here's the funny thing. This was going to be my TLR tinfoil hat for the week because it had been rumored last week that Mosman went out and rode the Star bike, okay? And then on like Steve's Thursday show, he put out, somebody called in and was like, hey, Mosman signed with Star. And Steve's like, oh, I haven't heard that yet. And then Steve put a tweet out, I guess on Friday, talking about it. Cooksey put a short video out saying that he knows that Mosman is signed to Star. So Mosman is signed to Star. And we've all kind of been, the Deegan thing has been floating around here, okay, that he's hurt. It's basically been confirmed that he is hurt. He's some sort of wrist injury. I'm hearing Scalford. I don't know. We'll see. No one's really talking.
Yeah. I also want to point out that today he went and got a fresh ass tat.
Yeah, I saw that.
On the whole thigh. You ain't putting a knee brace over that fresh tat.
So here's the interesting. Well, it'd be
but they had pictures of him, and he wasn't.
He didn't have anything. Yeah, so that was where I'm a little confused.
So
but
I don't know if he's playing like the Chad Reed social media game thing.
Maybe. Who knows, man? So I'm very confused, I'll say.
Mm-hmm.
But from what I understand,
there ain't been no videos released.
He's missing Supercross, is what I'm hearing, with this wrist injury. And Mosman is the fill-in for him, is what it's going to be. Maybe that's wrong. Maybe he shows up in Detroit. We'll know because I'm going to be there. So we'll know firsthand if he shows up in Detroit. But from what I'm hearing, Deegan is out for Supercross. Absolutely out. He's hurt. He is not going to race Supercross. So... And we're going to stamp this. We're going to put it out. And if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. That's just the way it is.
Yeah. So
it won't be the first time.
So here's my problem with this whole situation. This is kind of my rant.
Yes.
But you are the hottest prospect in the sport.
Yes.
You're trying to change the sport.
Yes.
Why is there no transparency?
Yeah. Why haven't we really heard anything?
Why is Brian not coming out? Why is him and Hayden? Why aren't those two sitting in front of a camera breaking it down and being like, hey, this is what happened. We won't be at Detroit. Like, we owe it to you, our fans, on our platform to let you know what's going on. And even if he is hurt and does decide to ride at Detroit, like, it's a heroic story. Like, hey, this dude's a badass. He rode with a hurt wrist, got through the first round. Instead of all this bullshit where people were like, oh, he's going to be a target because he's hurt.
Now,
why not flip the narrative? Why not let us media people, loose media people, talk about how, oh, dude, he came in with a hurt wrist and rode that well. That's badass.
Yeah. Now let's pause for a second though here
it just drives
too.
Me nuts, dude. Where's the transparency?
Because here's the other thing that it's like I don't really know, because in Cooksy's video he says that Mosman's going to ride west. He's coming out in San Diego. I don't know. I don't understand this at all. I will say that there was a lot of stuff I heard this week of people talking. Because Daniel Blair was on Pulp on Monday night. Did you listen to any of that?
A little bit. No, I haven't finished it yet, but
apparently the Star guys are very aggressive going after people.
Oh yeah, the whole thing where Bobby was like, "I'll get him out of the contract."
Yeah. Well, I've got a contract. You don't got to worry about that. We'll get you out of that.
Yeah.
Apparently they're very aggressive. So I don't really know what's going on. All I know for sure is that Mosman is signed. Now, like I said, our take on it is that Deegan's hurt. He's missing Supercross, so Mosman's signed to replace him.
That's sure the way it looks, because nobody will tell us what's going on.
Yeah, and hey, if anybody wants to come out, and what I mean by that would be Brian, who's the manager for the 250 side.
No, it's not Coker. Anderson or something. Brad
Hoffman. Brad Hoffman, yeah. If Brad Hoffman, any of the Deegans, anybody wants to come out and tell us that we're idiots and we're wrong, I'm more than happy to listen. But right now, I'm just putting tea leaves together, as Coach Rob would say. And dude, he's hurt.
Yeah, I mean, if you're, it's I haven't watched a lot of football in my life, but I have lately because of U of M.
Yeah,
it's like J.J. McCarthy, the quarterback, going to the NFL. Preseason injury, and nobody knows until the day of if he's hurt or not. That's absurd.
Well, here's the other thing too, and this gets back to like the East and West thing. Okay. Deegan sells tickets.
100%.
So for him,
so what are they doing? Trying to fuck over the fans and build it all up? Everybody's going to buy tickets, and then they're going to get there, and he's gone.
So like no one really knew. So how many people went to A1 thinking they were going to see Deegan, and then he wasn't there? And there's a lot, because we've seen it online of people. Where's Deegan? Where's Deegan?
Yeah,
What's Deegan doing?
People are still watching the Minios feed looking for Deegan,
dude. Yeah, and then. Now we're going east. So now everyone who half pays attention goes, okay, cool. Deegan's going to be racing east because he's not racing west. And now it's like we're hearing in the background, he's hurt. He might not race. He's not going to race, whatever. So like, how many people are buying tickets for Detroit to see Deegan ride or any of the other east rounds? And now, is he not going to be there?
Yeah, and then people are like, oh, fuck this sport. We never know what's going on. We're out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because for me, if you want to transcend the sport per se, I'll rant about transcending the sport here in a sec too. Dude, then become the transparency. Hey, I'm hurt.
Yeah.
No one's going to go for your wrist.
No, nobody.
Or your leg, or your ankle, or anything.
I would honestly respect them more if they came out and just told us what's going on.
100%.
Like, you have the power now to change the landscape of our sport.
100%.
So, I don't know. It's so crazy, like, how he moves the needle. Like, my coworker was telling me his daughter called him at 2 in the morning and was like, hey, what's going on? And she goes, Hayden Deegan has a girlfriend.
Oh, my God.
But that's crazy, though.
It is.
Right?
It's wild. It is absolutely
and his response
wild.
to that was like, I don't care if Hayden Deegan has a girlfriend. But that's the thing, though, is like, young girls across the country that are fans of the sport, or maybe not even, don't give two shits about dirt bikes, give two shits about Hayden Deegan.
But they'll buy tickets, they'll buy merch, they'll buy everything.
To just breathe the same air as the guy.
Yeah. So, they're the ones that stand outside that Star Truck and scream for him.
Yeah. Speaking of that, did you see in the Lawrence fan zone, they had a cutout of Jet acting like he's proposing so girls could pose next to it?
Oh, my God. No.
That's kind of a power move. It's corny. It's corny for us.
Well, did you see the big head guy? The big head Jet?
Yeah, everybody's talking shit about that, but McGrath had one, Mookie had one.
Yeah. I think
it's kind of cool.
So here's the thing, and here's the
Give him some Tech 10s, though. We don't need Tech 7s on the man.
Yeah. So, and here's the thing with that is, like, that's it for our Deegan Danger Zone. I'm done talking
Deegan
about
Danger Zone is over. The Danger Zone has closed.
We'll see y'all in Outdoors. Don't come to our channel until Outdoors.
Yeah. The Danger Zone is officially closed.
Yeah, and so here's the thing with the haters. So the hate for the Lawrence brothers is fucking real.
Yeah, but it's...
And it's growing.
Yeah, but it's they're jamming them too far down everybody's throat.
Okay, but here's the problem. Go ahead.
Because the promoters have the VIP thing, and they're getting their piece out of all that stuff, so they're trying to push all the people into buying that VIP program so they make more money.
Okay, so here's where I was going to go with this, because I was going to go a little bit different way than that.
Okay.
So we always say, like, everybody talks, we want to grow the sport, we want to grow the sport, we want to grow the sport. We need people that are going to transcend the sport, okay, compared to the normal rider, or say like the Eli Tomac, who's just a recluse. Okay, cool. So we want to transcend the sport. We want Pastranas. We want McGraths. We want that kind of stuff, okay? How do you transcend the sport in 2024? You have to literally be in front of everyone 24/7. Who do we have that can transcend the sport? These two Australian brothers who are kicking ass and taking names and are those guys that can do it. Yeah. So guess what? You're going to see a lot of them. And Feld knows this, and Feld knows how to push this to an extent.
Sorry, I'm cutting you
off.
The
problem is that it's now gone from, man, we want to see this kid do really good, to, man, fuck him, we hate him.
Yeah, like, I hope he crashes in the main.
Yep.
Yeah, which is fucked up. But I don't know. I thought a little bit of it, I think, can go... I don't know if you want to give them credit for it or whatever, but I think the root of it is Myrtle getting involved. You know how they kind of did their media blackout thing?
Yeah.
Where he is now able to pick the media that he wants to portray his message through. And what better way than have it right through the promoters and right through the broadcast and whatever. That's where they're going to get the most exposure, and we're damn sure they are. So, props to him for making that happen behind the scenes and doing the legwork for that.
Yeah.
But, man, there's got to be a way to tame it down a little bit. You feel?
No.
Or you say
here's where number one, I'm a huge Lawrence Brothers fan, Lawrence family fan. So, like, it's not going to, unless at some point these guys are a complete asshole to me, which they haven't been. I made a stupid joke with Hunter. He wasn't a fan of it. Yet he still then proceeded to have a conversation with me about cars. So, okay, that's cool.
What was the joke?
Never mind. We're not going to talk about it.
I want to hear it.
I said,
air it out.
well, I mean, it was a joke we had on the show.
Hang on. Here's the caption on YouTube. My shitty joke to Hunter.
I mean, it was the same joke we had on the show all the time. What do we used to say? That, man, Jet's brother's a really good rider. Hunter's brother's a really good rider, or something like that.
Good fucking rider?
Yeah.
You're a good fucking rider.
So anyway, but here's the thing. Understanding how marketing goes and how they're trying to push these guys to transcend the sport, what we're seeing is what has to be done. Otherwise, screw it. We've got ourselves another. And I mean, it even works this way with Ken. Ken's the same way. Ken could transcend the sport.
He could.
But he never got the media push or anything, and that's because he doesn't have a manager like Myrtle. Now,
Well, are you cooking a pizza, dude?
no, it's I'm outgassing parts in the back there. Now, here's the thing. He's doing it with the promoters, which is technically the smart way to do it, but
Yeah.
I have thoughts on that we're not going to get into, so whatever. Where like Ken's agent was like, fuck the promoters.
Yeah, and I
So
think
this is the
there's
two
bad blood there because Ken's agent tried buying Supercross in general and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, there's
Buying the rights to Supercross.
There's some interesting things there with that, but
Yeah.
so that's why Kenny won't transcend the sport. But I do think the Lawrence brothers could possibly do this, and I think it's because of Lucas Myrtle. And then, I mean, obviously, you have to have the attitude for it. We can't do it with Eli Tomac.
Yeah, and who's Myrtle have in the pipe? He's got the Coonan brothers.
The Coonan brothers are next up. So he also has Volan and Shimoda.
And now Ryder D.
And Ryder D. But I don't think you're going to get
There's
that
no
out.
transcending of with those guys.
No, not with any of them. Shimoda, they're going to pull in an Asian audience, which I think will be good from Japan.
Mm-hmm.
So that's cool. And I don't know what he's going to do with Volan. Volan's like a nice kid and everything, but I don't know.
Like, where's his special sauce?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Be interesting to talk to Mertz and see like what he says about it. But the Coonan brothers, I'll be interested when they come over to see kind of like how they get portrayed and how they act.
Yeah, here's a question I have for Myrtle.
Yeah.
Here's my question for Lucas Myrtle. You can use that as a caption.
Okay.
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 So here's my question for Lucas Myrtle. Is there a way in the contracts as things go forward to where he can negotiate to be transparent about salaries and signing bonuses, etc.? Do you think that's something that could be... I mean, that's something that would transcend the sport.
Mm-hmm.
People love talking about money. Like football, the only reason I'd watch football is because of the money, because I damn sure can't play or relate to those guys, but we can all relate to making money.
Dude, well, this was brought up by Jace on a Gypsy Tales episode recently because Weege has been putting it out there more and more about like the winning bonuses for the series and stuff,
I really
right?
want to listen to one with
And
Weege,
some rich dude in Dubai that Jace knows had messaged him and was like, "Holy crap, this Deegan kid just won $500,000." Like when he won the SMX thing, and he was like, "Yeah, bro," and he's like, "Holy crap, that's incredible." In fact, I have a video in the hopper here that I got to film talking about Jet and his age and how much he won and what he's bought and all this kind of stuff there. So I think things like that would help because people don't see the money that floats around in here. And it's not a lot, but it's enough. For normal people, it's enough.
Why not, come out with a breakdown or something at the end of the year for the fans? Like, hey, this is what we did with Jets and Donuts. This is what we did with merch sales.
Yeah.
These are the rounds our merch sales went up the most. This is the city that bought the most merch. Like, stuff like that I think would be a cool aspect.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and I think a lot of that right now is held back by contracts.
Well, and
the way contracts are written.
Yeah. Well, and Jace said this.
So-
Jace brought this up too, and shout out to Jace because he's had some killer ideas in the last couple episodes.
He has held the A1 press conference together.
Yes. But he said, he was like, dude, Dave Prater should come out just like Dana White does at the beginning of every press conference and be like, we sold this many tickets tonight. Attendance was this much. We made this much money, whatever. However Dana does it.
Yeah.
And then take some questions and then boom. Because we need a face for the series per se, because you think about it. When you go to, or with NASCAR, with the NFL,
you got Roger Goodell.
Yep.
NASCAR, you got, I don't even know who the shit is.
Yep. Formula One, I don't know who we have. We have the team managers, which is cool that we get to talk to, or the team principals, whatever.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, cool.
To do that a little more.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, cool. If we're gonna do that, then let's do it this, let's do it this way. Because as far and I'm with Jace on this, the UFC is the benchmark for how you want to handle your media. And Now, granted, Dave Prater is not Dana White. He's not going to come out and they're going to be like, so Mookie said this word you're not supposed to say, blah, blah, blah. And he's not going to look at the reporter and go, well, duh. He's that, like, he's that ethnicity. I'm really dancing around this to not get canceled here. You know, because did you see that with Dana White?
Mm-mm.
So
something happened like
there
that.
There was some fighter, where so there was a fighter from Africa who was black, and he was fighting another guy from like South Africa who was white or whatever,
and some racial slurs.
Yeah, and the reporter asked, "Well, what do you have to say about the racial slurs that so and so said?" And he goes, "Well, what's the racial slur?" And the guy's like, "Well, he said the N-word or whatever." And he goes, "Who said it?" And he said it again. He goes, "Yeah, he's fucking black." Like I love Dana White, dude. Yeah. Dana White is the fucking man.
Yeah, I don't watch a lot of that stuff because I don't know. I can't really.
It's just
I can't really get fired up about dudes beating the fuck out of each other.
I don't watch the fights. I watch Dana White handle the press conferences because they're awesome. But if we mix something in like that and had a director who was like that or whatever,
I agree.
Because they put like and again they put like Mike Pelletier out like yesterday when second practice got canceled. They bring Mike Pelletier on and he says, "Yep, we've decided we need time to prep the track and whatever. We're canceling second qualifying session, blah blah blah, whatever."
But we still won't update our timing.
Yeah, but it's like Mike Pelletier, Dave Prater, these guys, they're
They
good
need to
guys.
become a character themselves.
Yeah, but they're not characters. They don't have that. And I think that's something that needs to be looked at in today's day and age with the way everything is. That would help the sport grow per se. I mean, you look at Formula 1, what's the big debacle in Formula 1 this week? Cuz it's off season.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you know?
Yeah, Gunther left Haas.
Oh, I did see that pop up somewhere in my feed
exactly.
somehow. Yeah.
Do you want to know what my YouTube feed's full of? Why he left Haas videos.
Yeah. People all
the last place my YouTube feed is full of Formula 1 news this week, which is that the team principal for the last place team left the team. Mm-hmm. Can you imagine if
if everybody was talking
Martin Davalos leaving Firepower Honda? Yeah. Like nobody's going to give a shit
unless you build it up.
Unless you build it. Which is what we should do. We should build. These are the kind of storylines that we need to build. And I give it to, again, Feld on this end here of Weege has stated over and over again, they're trying to build story. Okay, cool. Let's build some fucking story.
Yeah, they want to build stories, but guess what they're talking about? Second round in, Jet 17-0. Come on.
Yeah. So let's build some stories here outside of that because let's build stories about Martin Davalos.
Yeah.
Let's
this
show
guy
Martin
was a heat race hero, knows how to race.
Did you catch him yesterday? They showed a clip and I don't remember if it was the main race or in qualifying. He's standing at the bike with a laptop.
Davalos was?
He's programming the bike in between whatever. Like you're talking about an X-Racer, now the team principal, and he's programming and, working on bikes, which I've heard he does motor work and stuff or like tuning. So like, why can't we build that story?
Yeah.
We
don't have any information on it.
Weege, please. So.
Yeah. No, I'm with you.
So there is that. Okay, so let's go into Holsterco reload rant here.
I ripped mine out already.
So here's what I'm ranting about. I really freaking hate these gaming regulations and the fact I cannot play Pulp Fantasy now. Dude.
I'll rant along with you on this one.
I hate it, okay? Because I'm sitting there...
did you listen to... They explained why...
I did listen to that,
okay,
yes.
I didn't. So did that provide some good insight?
Yes.
Okay.
So here's what it basically is. Each state has different gaming regulations that change constantly. Mm-hmm. And there is a fee depending upon how many players you have per state. And it's individual per state that you have to pay. Yeah. And so...
The Michigan one's pretty feasible because I've had some buddies that looked it up.
Okay. So the Michigan one probably is, and it would not surprise me if we get in on that at some point, okay?
They fired up Florida already.
Yeah. But there are certain states, like they brought up, I think it was Connecticut. If they want to do it in Connecticut, it's $250,000. They're like, the game doesn't make $250,000. Right. So sorry, Connecticut, unless you're regulations change, we're never going to have one in Connecticut, okay? And so, yeah, but I hate it because I'm, like, watching last night, and they're pulling up, like, the finishes in the heat race, and I see, like, oh, like, Rob Bell made it right in. And I'm like...
I wonder what his handicap was.
Yeah, and I'm just sitting there like, dude, like, I don't pay attention to these guys now.
Yeah.
Because, again, I don't have a reason to, so I'm not here watching saying, oh, well, so-and-so qualified there, and they, you know, made it in straight through or whatever. So I hate it. Because I liked having those kind of stories. I do too.
Like,
I don't know what to do during qualifying anymore.
All the credit in the world to Steve, Marks, like that team that have put that together.
100%.
It literally changed the fan experience watching races.
100%.
And man, it is. I feel naked watching races.
I do. I'm not looking at my fantasy. I don't know what to do
I'm not
between
yelling,
qualifying and the main.
5 minutes in.
Dude, I know. It's a mess. I don't like it. So that is my holster code reload rant. Is like, I do not like gaming regulations that is making it to the fact that we cannot play. And I know.
I think Michigan, we might be all right.
I hope
man,
so.
That sucks for everybody else.
Yeah, and I know there are other games out there and everything. I'm just not doing it, man.
But
I don't want to learn.
How'd they get put on the radar?
Who?
Fantasy boys.
I don't know. That wasn't really discussed or talked about or anything.
Like if somebody, turned them in, or
I'm not sure.
How did? Yeah,
maybe they just kind of figured it out, and it was
like,
getting
we
big
should
enough.
Make this legal. Yeah,
yeah. I thought about doing like just a little fantasy league amongst a few people with like $100 buy-in or something, and it was basically going to be you were going to pick like 3 450 guys and 1 250 guy. It doesn't matter which coast. And then we would just add up their points and whoever got the most would win, the $500 or whatever.
When you could just go on their platform and it's done for you, it's
and they did say there was an option too, and it won't happen right now, maybe in the future, that they could do like a separate site that's just a free game, because if it was free, it'd be fine. But the fact that there's buy-ins for things, that's why we can't do it.
So
that's why like Truman won't do Industry Idiots anymore.
Yeah, so that's all really interesting to me then. Like and that kind of screws them on giving product away probably, because I'm sure a lot of that
so if the game is free and they're just giving away prizes, they can do it. That's why like Rocky Mountain and them can still do it.
So what I'm saying right now is their fees are probably subsidizing a lot of the prizes.
Yeah.
You think?
Their fees are probably
going to pay for that 450 or pay for the, or do you think?
Like, they're getting that stuff for free. No, they're just the fees we're paying are now paying for gaming regulation payoffs for them is what's essentially happening. They were probably making money, and then there's server fees and website fees, and they probably pay Marks to maintain all of it and stuff.
100%.
And then probably all of them were pulling payouts at the end of the year too. But now the money that everybody's paying to be in it is just going towards fees to try to expand the game.
I mean, I shit you not, they could probably run a raffle.
Yeah,
for each state, and people would throw in enough money, and that's how much we love this game,
dude.
So. I mean, start a GoFundMe.
We'll see. We'll see.
Whatever, man. That sucks. Like I said, I'm sure a lot of fans out there and a lot of people watching this can relate. It's weird, man. My girl even said it. She's like, it's weird. You're not yelling fuck or fuck that guy or anything.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, I don't like it. So, all right, that's been your Holster Code Reload rant. For all your things that go bang, bang, and boom, boom, make sure to check them out. Links in the description down below. Okay, let's get into our last thing here. Actually, I didn't ask you this. Thoughts on the races being shorter last night?
I liked it. I was glad they did that.
Yeah, it was probably for the best. Just another thing that pissed me off about, mud races, but whatever.
It would have been hell, so I'm glad they did that.
All right, 250 race recap brought to you by our friends at Complete Racing Solutions. Make sure to check them out for all your health needs on and off the bike there. All right, 250 race results here. So, old man Jordan picks up a win. These old men are dominating.
He dominated that main, dude.
Dude, he did. He
got us crashing out of the way in the heat. Jack crashed in the whoop, so they knocked him down.
Yep.
And then,
God, here we go. Here we go. I know. I saw that right as they were doing it, and I'm like, oh, shit.
Anyway, no, Jordan Smith, man, this could be the title that eluded him. I don't know, man.
We're not to the end of the year yet.
I know.
Let's
I
tone
know,
it
but
down.
First 2 rounds look good, even with a mudder. Again, like I say, you got to be able to ride the mud too.
Look, his first 2 rounds looked good last year because Justin got real high on Smith was going to win that title last year.
Did he?
Oh, yeah. You
I
go
didn't
back
think
and
he-
watch Houston and whatever second round of East was last year. Justin was, oh, look, it's Smitty.
Yeah, I think it comes down to Smitty, Kitchen, and just those 2 basically.
I think so, too. 'Cause-
Thrasher's too far out of it. Shimoda grenaded himself.
RJ's
gonna grenade himself.
Yep. RJ grenaded himself a bunch of times yesterday.
Oh, when
How about
when I saw him in practice, I was like, yeah, he's not doing.
How about that case on that finish line he did, dude? Like, just direct stop.
Yeah, we'll get into him. So.
Yeah, so I mean that was a good race by Jordan, but again, start dependent, got the start, just ran away. That was all there was to it.
Yeah. Kitchen, well, to get right into Kitchen, was right on his ass at the end of that race.
Yes. Yes.
So, and Kitchen was like, man, I didn't even realize that was him, or I would have tried to drop the hammer a little sooner. But,
Yeah.
Either way, another good ride for Kitchen. 2
Yeah.
weekends on the podium in a row. Essentially his sophomore season.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good. New team, new bike.
Let's see what a dry race looks like again.
Yeah.
Like a second dry race. So
I mean, there are certain races though where he comes out and he's untouchable.
Mhm.
So,
if he gets a start,
yeah,
which he is,
he has been.
it's pro circuit bikes.
PC bikes.
They haven't got caught for sound yet.
Team Green.
Have you heard that whole debacle about the whole sound thing that's going on?
No.
So was it
They're saying the PC bikes are too loud?
Well, so was it last year that Honda was bitching about Stars bikes passing sound, and they're like,
Well, because they're taking the silencers and shortening them.
well, and they were like, dude, if you stand there and listen, I can't remember what I was listening to this week where they were talking about it, but they were like, dude, if you stand there and listen when the bikes are on track, those Stars sound way different than when they go over for sound. And so I guess last year Honda was just bitching, and then finally at one of the rounds Star didn't pass. And so now I guess Star has been going after Honda for their bikes, bitching, and now I guess there's and the talk is that there's a lot of them that don't. Actually, this was on Johnny's show because that Derek guy from HP Race Development or whatever, he was talking that like those PC bikes do not sound the same in sound testing that they do on. That he's like, dude, they are so loud on track.
They can cheat the sound test in the beginning, no problem. They just shove some foam in the air box and shit like that. But
Yes.
if they're doing it immediately after the race,
Yes.
that's when they need to be doing it.
Yes, and supposedly now they go as far. Number one, so people did have neutral maps.
Mm-hmm.
Now they make you do it in gear, and then they would have different maps, right? So you
there's
click it,
always something. They're starting
and
to figure it out.
then now they make you put both. Like they make you switch your maps so that you have to do both of them. And
So they're fine. Like the,
Yeah,
the sounding,
dude.
sounders are starting to get smart.
dude,
finally.
and this was Derek. He's like, dude, this is where like the privateers just don't even stand a fucking chance. He goes,
Yeah.
number one, the pipe you go buy off the shelf is way louder than any bike on that HRC truck. He goes, number two, we don't have a way he's like, well, I have ways. I'm not going to talk about them here, but he's like, or I have thoughts about how we could do this, but he's like, but most of the guys like don't have access to things to try to even remotely do this. So like,
yeah, that's
they
pretty
can't pass
interesting,
sound.
moving the map shit around. I've never thought about all that.
Oh, dude, it was insane him talking about it, and yeah, and
they've been cheating that shit for years.
Oh, everybody has, yeah. So, but Kitchen, this is a good start here, and yeah, he's right. And I think
He's
he's
cooking.
probably my title favorite here at this point.
I would love that. I would love to see him get one for Mitch, Kawasaki, everybody.
Here's the thing, though. If he does, okay, now, so say he
runs
wins,
into the screwed up
then he
250
gets
thing.
fucked because then he can defend next year, and then he's out.
Yeah, by the time that comes, I think there's a change coming.
I don't know. I would love to see it, but I don't know. So, Marchbanks gets third. Beat Phil. I really thought Phil was getting that third.
I wanted Phil to
I
get
did
it,
too,
but
man.
We'll
I
talk
did too.
about him. But Marchbanks, man, I guess I didn't realize he sat all year last year out on the
Yeah,
50.
yeah, Supercross, yep.
And I watched some of those club videos, and damn, he looked good.
Mhm.
So, no, this is shaping up that it could be a pretty good year for Marchbanks. Like, Marchbanks is one of those guys that kind of got screwed by the industry, too. Like,
Yep.
I don't really know what went down at Pro Circuit or what happened there, but it was something funky and weird. But this is a guy that was a rookie, one Daytona, like had a pretty good trajectory going. So
Yeah, and now he's just a Club MX professional here.
yeah,
So,
I mean, really good rides on the 450 as well.
yeah,
So
yeah. So I mean, that was good. Do I see him on the box the rest of the year? I don't know.
I could see him getting back on the back.
We'll see.
He's start dependent though. He's very Michael Rocco-ish, very start dependent.
Yes. And then speaking of that, and then with what we talked about earlier, he's not really a guy that you can build a lot of story around.
Marchbanks?
Yeah. I mean, you could, but you'd have
Yeah.
to really go off the track and off the. It's kind of like Tomac, and then it's like,
don't really know what he's got
yeah,
going on,
and then it's
really.
like, is he open to having cameras around him all the time to build that? Like.
Well, being at the club facility, kind of.
Yeah, but you're gonna have to go outside the motorcycle facility to build a story around him.
Right.
Which is what you want to see around all these guys. I mean, you go to Jordan Smith. Okay, I don't even know what kind of story you build around him. He's basically like a family man now, so who knows?
I remember him being a Suzuki guy on amateurs and stuff.
Yeah.
But
And then like Kitchen, okay, I feel like Kitchen's outgoing enough because I've seen him in like Chase's vlogs that you could like build a story around him, so that would be cool. Marchbanks, again, I don't really know. I think he's Tomac-ish of like he's into hunting and stuff like that.
yeah. I mean, the next guy you could definitely build. A story
Oh,
around.
dude.
So
Phil. Good old Phil.
So let's play a game here.
Phil is a guy that, man, he should just be a main character in all of this.
Yeah.
Phil should get paid hundreds of thousands of dollars a year just
to be
because
Phil.
he is Phil.
So let's play a game here.
Okay.
What words came out of his mouth when Cole Thompson fell in front of him?
Get the fuck out of the way.
Pick your fucking bike up. I got to go get the fuck up. Yeah.
I like how he stopped and he's waiting.
You could see his head. You could see his head like,
Get
the fuck out of the way.
Oh, man, that was
And that
so awesome.
literally cost him the podium.
That did too, yeah. Yeah, that was a big kick in the nuts there.
I was rooting for Phil. Man.
I can't wait to hear him on Pulp this week talk about that because I know Steve's going to be like, so what'd you say to Cole when he was in front of you?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was awesome, man. That was, and can we just say, what heads up riding to see that the guy in front of you is going down and stop?
Right at the top.
Right
of the
at the top of the
yeah.
jump. Because otherwise, what's he do? He runs into him, he falls over too, and then he's really fucked.
Yeah.
So, that was great. That was great.
Good for the club team. They should be stoked.
Yeah, they should be really stoked. Carson Mumford, 5th. That was a sneaky good ride.
In the podium deal too.
Yeah, went down in the finish line area there, and I guess his bike was just buried, so he just, supposedly what he says, he just like gassed
Kept a
it,
rip.
spun a
Yeah,
360, got it up, something like that.
Yeah, sneaky good ride for him. Where was he last week in the dry? He was like sick or something.
He led laps in the heat.
I remember that.
Yeah, and then kind of faded or whatever.
Yeah, he had something going on with him going in.
There's
right?
some Mumford Schmoda beef going on here too, because they had to talk to him last week. The AMA went and talked to him because he got into Shimoda at press day, and the AMA went over and talked to him about it, and then he got into Shimoda in the race day too.
Oh, I did see that. I
Yeah.
was wondering what was going on with that.
So again, we want to build some story. Let's build some story. What's going on? Now, I've heard some things about Carson. He's not the most fun guy to work for. And so he probably holds some grudges there because Shimoda's still on a factory bike and he's not.
What's this chip on his shoulder where he always thinks he should have the factory bike? He got a shot at Pro Circuit and didn't do shit with it.
That's because I've heard he's not very fun to work with.
Like a prima donna?
None of the mechanics wanted to work with
I
him.
could see that.
They had to force somebody to work with him. So I don't know what he's really like. I've never talked to the kid. This is just what I'm hearing.
Yeah. I could see where he's like a little, like kind of got like some rich kid.
But think about it. He
asshole.
came up as he was supposed to be the dude there, and then him and Shimoda go pro basically about the same time there on the Geico. Then Geico closes down, and then what happens? Shimoda gets an opportunity at PC, and Mumford gets shit on off to Bar X or whatever at the time, and then MCR and all this stuff.
With PC too. and
Yeah, didn't do nothing
he
with
didn't
it.
do what Shimoda did with his shot.
No.
So that's all on him.
Yeah,
He
I
needs to grow
know.
up and look in the mirror.
Nah, well, he doesn't want to.
Maybe he'll get some VRM here in a year or two.
We'll see.
Maybe
we'll see.
Vince can teach him a little thing. Or two.
So, but
Probably.
it was cool to see him lead laps last week, and we'll see how this progresses here.
I guess I do remember Mumford trying to run it in on Shimoda, and I was kind of like, "What the hell?"
Well, like I said, I heard the press day. Something got heated there.
Huh.
Let's build a story around that week.
Yeah, keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on that at home, people.
Anthony Bourdon, 6th place.
Dude, running good.
Good
there for a little
ride,
bit.
yeah.
He's like getting ready to pass for second.
He's just kicking it.
Dude, I would want to have a Suzuki in a mud race because not gonna run into Voland or Shimoda issues.
Yeah, this is true. Varese, his bike stayed together, 7th place.
Good for him.
That's real good. Hunter Yoder, 8th. Didn't see that either.
Straight out
Hey,
of
guess what?
Shipshawana.
Didn't have Pulp Fantasy. Didn't see that either.
Yep.
Had no idea.
Didn't come straight out of Shipshawana.
Yep. RJ Hampshire, 9th.
I kind of saw this day going that way just based off practice. Like, casing the jump. Like, I don't know.
Crashed twice. No, he crashed twice in practice.
Went over
Cased
the
the
bars
jump in
pretty
the.
good.
He cased the jump in the heat.
Oh, he cased it in somewhere else, I'm pretty sure, too.
Because in practice he went down. No, in practice he went off. Or in qualifying, he went off between the finish line jump there. He got
that's
sketchy.
what it was.
And then he crashed later.
It was
Didn't get lift off something.
I don't know. It was the most RJJ day I've seen. And,
yeah.
My buddy Ray, he's got the perfect nickname for him.
Oh boy.
Calls him Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah, so
So
he's
Wreck-It Ralph with a 9, loses the red plate, and this is just kind of who he is. This is who he is.
let's see here. 2024. He is in 3rd right now.
How many points home?
I don't know. I'm just looking at his thing.
So
He's in
again,
3rd.
yeah, like back to your point on the dry race stuff. We'll get back to a dry race and see if he gets back to normal.
But I'm here to tell you, if he has another one of these or he's like 9th, he's out of the
I agree.
title.
I agree.
So this was his mulligan here. He needs to get better at that. Mitchell Oldenburg, 10th.
Kind of saw that coming. I had him on my radar being a Minnesota guy and being
Yeah.
a mud guy. So
Julian Beaumer, Juju, 11th. He's not a mud dude.
yeah, he definitely should have rode his jet ski.
He crashed a whole bunch, he said, and his elbow was all fucked up.
I did watch that video.
Yeah, so
should
he...
have definitely ridden the jet ski.
You would think so. Maxwell Sanford, 12th. Matty Jorgensen, 13th. Vincent
Mud driver.
Varola, 14th. Vincent Varola?
No idea who that is. Probably his first main event. So congratulations to
He's
him.
from Simi Valley, Cali also. Cole Thompson, 15th. Jerron Stapleton, 16th. Deegan Hepp, 17th.
Okay, so I'm going to fact check that tweet. That said a CRF 450. It's a CRF 250 then.
Yeah.
Unless he somehow snuck his way in on a 450.
That'd be
into the
awesome.
250 class. That'd be sick.
That'd be the most privateer thing to do. Just put
Yeah.
CRF 250 plastics on it.
Do you think some basic ass fans saw Deegan like on the lineup and it was actually Deegan Hepp and they were like, oh, hey,
100%.
Deegan.
100%.
Ain't that crazy though that we're getting into the generation where dudes were so stoked on Brian they named their kids after him?
Oh yeah. Okay, so Nate Thrasher's out of this title hunt. He's 18th. Did you hear
Very hot and cold.
Did you hear the low key jabs at him all week about being a pussy because of how he acted after he crashed there in A1?
Who was kind of jabbing him?
I heard some low key jabs on some podcasts this week. I don't remember exactly who, so I'm not going to name any names, but there was some low key jabs of how he might have overreacted when he crashed there,
I mean, you know who's the king of that?
flopping around and
Fortner's the king of that.
that
Fortner's
too.
taking some hits though.
Yeah, Fortner has taken some hits, but that Thrasher crash last week, who knows? And he obviously did not have a good night
I mean, the
last
Webb
night.
thing didn't look very good. Where Webb did the same thing and got up and finished. So.
Yeah. So, man. I mean, he's just out of this title.
He's so hot and cold.
I wish
don't
Justin
get it.
was here so he could tell me how great Thrasher is, and I could tell him how much of a fucking moron he is. Like,
Ooh,
dude,
easy.
like the kid has won races, but like that's it. He's gonna win a couple of races. He's gonna
very
win a
hot and
race
cold.
randomly, and then he's gonna not do shit the entire rest of the season.
He's a lot like RJ, really.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Yeah, so he'll be like 38 years old, like RJ and Smith. I mean, it's very reminiscent of that, actually.
Making a living in the 250 class, which, hey, there's nothing wrong with that.
Nope, nothing wrong with that. And Max Volan's bike decided it wasn't going to go anywhere anymore. He got 19th. That's rough. I had high hopes for Volan. I called him in the
I called him
qualifying
for a
show. Yeah, as doing really well last night.
Yeah.
So that's
I
rough.
think that was an electronics kind of deal.
Probably.
How wet it was.
Yeah, because it was like he was sitting there like, come on, what's happening?
Oh, yeah, poor dude was bomb.
Yep. Ty Freehill, 20th. Ryder D, DNF.
How about
Have
that
we-
20-second win in the heat, though?
Dude.
Out of nowhere.
Dude, that's what I was talking about. I was like,
this
wow.
is the dude I called at the pre-show right here.
Yeah, like, man, he just got a start and was gone. See you later. Thanks for coming. Appreciate that
I'm
win
from
bonus.
Bakersfield, never ridden mud in my life.
That's what I was confused about, too. I think I sent a text off to Coach and Johnny, and I was like, low-key, like, mud specialist? Question mark? Like, I don't get it. That was impressive, though, that heat race.
Dude, factory gas KTM Husqvarna was looking really good after the heats, though.
Oh, man. Have we heard anything as to what happened to him there? I'll be interested to hear that this week.
Yeah, we listened to that this week. Probably figured it out, but...
Yeah, I mean, I would assume since it's a DNF, that means he didn't even make the first lap, so it's got to be a bike issue.
I would think so. Maybe electronics again.
Yeah, maybe.
So I think the electronics have gone so far on these bikes. Like that's the first thing to point at all the time.
Yep.
Especially in a wet condition. But.
Yeah, and then speaking of electronics and wet conditions, Joe Schmoda DNF for 22nd there.
Not good.
No, it was not. It's not a good look at
This
any
is not
one of
what
the
Lars
three of those.
Lindstrom's looking for.
That gas, that Honda, or that Pro Circuit bike to get pushed off.
Yeah, I mean things were looking to be in a good direction after Shimoda came out and killed him in that heat.
Dude, so I looked like an idiot yesterday because in qualifying show I said, man, Shimoda's not a mud guy. He sucks in mud. Then he comes out and wins that heat, and I'm like, fuck, okay.
That's the thing about mud, though. You can't predict.
And then he comes out in the main and just is like, nothing.
Right.
Down
Okay,
early, and then the bike just dies third corner in. So that was rough. That was rough to watch. So, all right, that's been your 250 race recap brought to you by our friends at Complete Racing Solutions there. Well,
let's go with let's round it out with lit kits and shit kits.
oh man, I don't even know. Okay,
So,
look, it's hard to tell because of the thing last night, because of the mud.
Well,
So tell me yours, and then I just have a question about a kit for you.
okay, so my lit kit is a toss-up between the PC boys, Roxon with the Grand Prix Cycles thing.
Okay, that was what I was going to ask you
Yeah,
about.
I thought those were cool because I like the story.
What is the story on it? I don't know.
Yeah, so Grand Prix Cycles is the very first shop to ever carry Fox gear,
Oh.
and it was from the area.
Oh.
So it was a little shout out to them.
Got it.
The colorway looked really good.
Yeah, I like the colorway.
So yeah, lit kit there. Fox doesn't miss very often.
Yep.
Speed suit might have been a little bit of a miss, but it was a cool concept.
Yeah.
So that stuff looked really cool. And Sexton, I like Sexton's kit before it got dirty, but it was kind of the orange, the blue.
Yep.
Everything kind of went together. Looked really good. And then for my shit kits, everybody at the end of the night, they all looked like they were covered in shit.
They did. I guess for a lit kit, I did like Tomac's gear.
Oh, the pink?
Yeah. I was a fan of that. I thought that was pretty cool. So yeah, and I was going to ask about the Grana pre-cycles or whatever.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, because I didn't really I knew there was probably something behind it, but I didn't fucking know. So So okay, lit kits and shit kits. There we are. So anything else you want to talk about here?
It's getting a little chilly in here. That's all I know.
Yeah, it's cold. It's snowing.
Was there any feedback on Hurling's a star?
I don't know.
Anybody call you an idiot?
Let's see here. Let's see. Nobody yet from the main show.
Did you clip that and put it on there?
Oh yeah, it just went up about an hour ago. 229 views.
Nice.
Killing it. Let's go see if there's any comments on that. Go check that out. Our most recent video, my TLR tinfoil hat from last week.
I caught on early too.
Going to here, first comment that oh, never mind.
How many comments?
No, never mind. That was for the thing last night. Let's see. Oh, only I would love to see it. If this happens, Prado will be pissed. I agree. It was Jeffrey. Would be epic, but too late. LFGGGGGGG. Roger needs to retire. He couldn't put a full sentence together the other day. He sounded like Biden.
Said that. Said that about. He said that about Roger.
Oh my god. Oh man.
Quite a few comments off the rip already. Huh?
Yeah. Slayer6936. You need to DM me. I'm sending you a T-shirt, man. That was fucking awesome. Oh man. Poor
Wow,
Roger,
that got a
bro.
reaction, dude.
That was great. Holy crap. Yeah, no, that's pretty good, man. That's pretty that's pretty good. So I'm That's great.
Comment,
comment,
just
subscribe,
stomp on
man.
that subscribe button.
Yeah. So I guess that's been the show. Thanks to all our sponsors: TLR Coatings, Complete Racing Solutions, Holster Co., Isaac Nelson Designs,
out
and
next week.
Gutter Works. You're out next week.
I'll be in Arizona. Yes.
Where are you going to Arizona for?
Kawasaki is releasing some new products. So
Can we talk about them? Nobody watches this show, so it's okay.
The dealer meeting. So all of our dealers will be there. It's gonna be really cool. We're gonna have some demo rides, stuff like that. They're releasing the Ridge.
What's the Ridge?
So it's going to be a new premium side-by-side. So that we've been dropping some teaser videos and stuff. And I know just about as much as the public does. Like, very tight-lipped. So
Interesting.
they do a great job with
Like
that.
a racing side-by-side or like a utility side-by-side?
So like a mixture of both, it seems. So in the teaser
Strange.
videos, from what I've seen, it looks like there's going to be an HVAC, like full enclosed cab. Mm-hmm. So you have heat, air, navigation, kind of like a Polaris North Star.
Okay.
And then in the other teaser videos, they showed inline 4. So I don't know if that's going to be based off like the H2 platform a little bit
Interesting.
with that drivetrain.
Yeah.
It looked like they teased like a dump bed. So I don't know if it's going to be a full enclosed side-by-side, enclosed cab, whole
Yeah.
wheel climate controlled, but also fast and handles well, but also able to work in the yard with. If that's the goal with it, then this thing will be awesome. But no, I'm excited, man. I'm super excited to get out there and see that thing, and then a couple other things on the street side I think are coming. So again, I don't know anything until I get there, which is kind of cool. Where they keep it tight-lipped to get us guys out in the field excited about it too. So
Any update on us testing a SR 450?
I mean, we might be able to work something out with a dealer. Is how you'd be able to do that.
Great.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Well, so like the Team Green program and stuff like that, where you can demo a bike out.
Yeah.
So it would, you might be able to work something out like that. But
Sweet. Let's do that.
there's no SR this year though.
Are all the SRs sold?
You want to ride a current SR?
Yeah.
Ziegler's got one right in the front door. It smacks you in the face as soon as you walk in.
I don't think they're going to want to work with me.
No?
I think, well, maybe you can be like, hey, I got a real high-end client that we need to demo this with.
Well,
but if you put my name in association with that, that's not going to work.
It's tough with an SR, though. I don't know. This could help an SR or not help an SR. I'd have to see if you could put them on the demo program, but...
Can we get a normal one? Like just a normal 450?
Yeah, I've got one.
Can we get a normal actually, you know what would be better? Can we get a normal 250?
250?
Yeah.
Probably.
Like can we demo a normal 250 for a day?
I don't know. We'll have to see. Maybe we can
To like side
maybe we can get a sponsor on the show and negotiate a deal, and maybe like where we can test it and bring content and all that stuff. But I got to walk a fine line too, because I want to have a same relationship with all my dealers instead of playing favorites. So
Cool, let's not pull favorites. We'll go around the horn per year.
yeah, no, that'd be cool. But no, I want to keep a level playing field for all my dealers and stuff. But I doubt any of them listen to this, but maybe someday they will. But it's funny, my coworker Brett.
Yeah.
And I doubt he'll ever get this far into a show, but he he sends me a link the other day, and it was our pre-show about Jason Anderson.
Oh, really?
And he saw it, and it was about Kawasaki, so he clicked on it, and then my face came up. And he's like, man, it's a hard listen with you guys with all your Michigan accents. And I was like, what? We have accents? So apparently we have accents.
No one said that. No one has commented about the accents. We get comments all the time about talking over each other, which I try to do better with doing.
We've been
but
trying to do better with that. Well, we did good tonight because we don't have Justin.
Yeah, and it's tricky too because we're sitting here having a conversation per se, which that's how conversations go. Is someone's talking and then you want to make a point, so then you talk over them. So it's real.
That's one thing. Like if you listen to like Steve or Jace or the guys that are really good at it, they're really good at getting their in and out points. Or like Steve is really good at like, they'll be talking about something and then he'll just be like, okay, and that's it. We're on to our next segment. Presented by whatever. Just cuts them out.
I give Steve a lot of credit too, because to put that whole show together, 5 hours on a Monday night, live with calls and with guest. I mean,
He lines the guests up like,
it's hard enough for me to line up, say, like Kev to come on here, to get him hammered down and to come on, let alone to do 3 or 4 riders. Like, fuck all that.
Well, you gotta reach out to the guy and you gotta say, hey, I got you slotted in for this time. This is when it's gonna work, and I'm gonna have you off at this time.
Yeah.
And you make sure to keep an eye on that clock, because if you respect their time, they're gonna respect your time and come back on.
Yeah, that is what makes it tricky, and that is something that I need to be better at. So, for example, when Kev comes on, now Kev is a bit of a different circumstance because he's a buddy of ours now at this point. He's willing to chat.
Like another guy, it's like,
but
hey man, we'll put you on at 30. We'll get you off at 8. 7:30. We'll get you off at 8.
But this is something I've been having conversations too. Like these privateer guys who need exposure or money or anything, but then do not pick up the phone or return DMs or anything like that. Like, bro, you got to do it.
Yeah, it depends on the guy. You could grab him.
Oh, no. I've been having some different conversations with some different people around the industry about this, and they're like, yeah, dude, these privateers drive me nuts because I want to give them money, and they don't answer their phone.
Yeah.
To, like, even be like, okay, cool, where do I send the check? Like, they just don't answer the phone. It's like, and then they cry about, oh, I don't have any money, I don't have any sponsors. You got to put the legwork in.
Yeah. Shout out to Carnell, because he's put the legwork in.
Yeah.
Himself. But also, it rubbed me a little the wrong way. Did you see the post he put out about
Vince?
Vince?
we could talk about that for a sec too. Yeah, I did.
I think that was a little overboard.
I do too.
And I think that was like, hey, I'm not making the main this year. I barely made mains last year. I got to do this to stay relevant because it's a topic in the sport.
Yeah.
He's really good at staying relevant without being on the results sheet. So props to him for doing that, but I think that was a little more over the line, and even enough for J-Law to call him out on it.
Yeah, and here's the thing though. There was a DM sent to me by a buddy who was talking to another podcaster, and this podcaster was basically just laying waste to Carnell about how he was a piece of shit and a waste of a fucking spot on the gate and all this crap like that. I mean, dude, he was just going off. And it's not a guy with a big following either. Like, it's not anybody that most of us would even remotely know who they are. I do, because obviously I know all the other podcast guys mostly. And I've never talked to this guy either, so I don't know. But man, the DMs he was sending my buddy, I was like, wow.
Ripping him on, huh?
Yeah, like for us guys, and again, I'm with you. I look at it, I go, that was probably a little over the line for,
Like, hey, trying to stay relevant.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
like you probably shouldn't DM. Like, if you want to put that out there, just post it on his thing.
Just like J-Law
comment
said.
it. Yeah, like don't DM him and then screenshot and then whatever. Like
screenshot the DM,
just post it. But the way this guy was going at it,
some truth for once in his life.
J-Law super interesting. He has a members site or something. He has a members site or something.
Oh, I don't know what the hell that was all about.
I don't know either.
But he called out Carnell. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did see that. Yeah. So, all right, it's getting cold in here, so we're gonna wrap this
wrap
up.
it up.
So thanks everybody for tuning in. Thanks to our sponsors. Again, make sure to watch live qualifying show. Are you leaving Sunday or are you leaving Saturday?
I leave Sunday.
You want to come over Saturday and do the qualifying or something?
I might. I don't know what I got going on.
Okay.
I might be able to come do something. But yeah, as far as the main show goes, I'll be off. Hopefully Justin will be back.
He said he's gonna be here next week, so we'll see.
Yeah, roads will be better, so we won't use that excuse.
Yeah, well, so like I said, live qualifying show every single week. I actually am in the process of stepping up our quality game there. Reaction show after every race here, at least through, like I said, the first 5 rounds here. We'll see how it goes. It's going well, so as of right now, I'm just going to continue here. And then main show on Tuesday. So hopefully we won't have any computer issues here. We'll get this out on Tuesday and not Wednesday this week, and we can keep rolling through.
Yeah, and I saw some requests, too, of getting the main show live streamed and figured out.
We'll see. I don't
know how that'll work.
That is the whole essence of playing with the live feeds right now for the qualifying.
Yeah, just taking what you
that's a
learn.
very loose program.
Yeah.
Of like, if we don't, basically as soon as qualifying 2 starts with like B group or whatever, I'm trying to be up and running, and then we'll just roll through everything. But again, this is playing with it. Like I said, I thought I was going to have different setup this week than I did last week. That obviously didn't happen. I ordered the wrong cord basically. So next week we hopefully will be up in a little different realm of equipment that we're using, and as long as this stuff continues to go well and everything, then we'll start hopefully live streaming more because it seems to go well. Because like last week we had 20-something people watch. We'll just talk about this
live.
off.
Yeah, the live premiere had a lot of people too. So thank you guys.
Yeah. So thanks everybody for watching. Like, subscribe, comment down below your thoughts on all of our thoughts, and we'll be back next week here. So thanks everybody.